start in a while. So maybe about 11 minutes. Okay. Good. Maybe about 11 minutes. Hello everybody. Welcome to this webinar, Bridging the Gap Between Teaching and Innovation, hosted by Kolej Komuniti Kuching, Sarawak. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Before we begin, throughout the presentation, if you have any question or clarification, you can enter your questions and comments in the chat box throughout the presentation. We shall get back to them right after each presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, this webinar, Bridging the Gap Between Teaching and Innovation, is in line with this year's National Academia Day celebrations theme, Empowering Academia, Adaptation to Digitalization, for which gives emphasis on efforts to empower the nation's higher education digitalization agenda under the new normal environment. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Technical Vocational Education and Training, TVET, has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning. The COVID-19 crisis has forced education systems worldwide to find alternatives to face-to-face instruction, where teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Especially during the pandemic COVID-19 since the year 2019, which has resulted in schools shut all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. This has resulted high growth and adaptation in education technology, whether it is language apps, virtual tutoring, video conferencing tools, or online learning software. There has been a significant surge in usage of education technology since COVID-19. Digitalization is fundamentally altering our world and with it, redefining the world of education. The value of knowledge and skills, especially in TVET. As we know, TVET is understood as comprising education, training, and skills development relating to a wide range of occupational fields, production processes, services, and livelihoods. Why is this happening, and what we could do about it? It will be answered by our next speaker. The first one, joining us today, is a great man and an amazing visionary. He is a passionate man towards TVET education and technology education. With more than 25 years of experience in education field, he has contributed much both as a lecturer and higher education officer. He specializes in designing education, curriculum development, teaching and learning e-contents development, and blended learning practices. Recently, he had written and published an insightful book of designers with the title Becoming Designers. In addition to that, he also has 10 years of experience as the Deputy Director in the Center of E-Learning and Teaching, Instructional and Digital Learning Division, cell at the Department of Polytechnic Education. Currently, he is with Polytechnic Metro Kuala Lumpur as Senior Lecturer. His passion towards TVET education is shown in his quote that says, "Designing educational experiences has been my passion, especially for undergraduate students in the TVET sector." Today, he will be sharing about digitalization in TVET teaching and learning. Let's welcome Dr. Azhar Zainal Abidin, also known as Dr. Nana. Hello, Doctor. Hello, Dr. Nana.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, very clear. So, Dr. Nana, okay, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Moderator Liu, ladies and gentlemen, Director of Kolej Komuniti Kuching, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who is online today, watching this webinar and being part of this learning session. I welcome everyone. Thank you very much for allowing me a few minutes to share my thoughts and my practices over the past years. Then we will see if there are any questions and answers towards the end, which I'm very happy to answer. All right. So without further ado, can you please share the slides? Okay. So let me begin. Today's the theme that is being given under for this webinar is bridging the gap between innovation and teaching. Bridging the gap between innovation and teaching. So this is what I'll be trying to accomplish. Hopefully that by the end of my presentation you'll get the idea of what and how innovation can be applied to teaching and learning. Right? Next. Oops, the one before that. Next. Okay, so my presentation have got four components. Sorry, the first one is digesting the terms. That's very important before we start even to talk. Let's be on the same page so that we are talking about the same terms. Second is we have got to understand where technology is today. Very important. If we want to dive deep into technology, let's have a good feel of where technology is. Third, I'll be talking about just a bit about teaching and learning and where we are today and what is expected of us at this level, not much. Then finally, we are putting in them all together, the terms, the technology, the teaching and learning into what TVET at DPCCE is trying to accomplish and what we expect, how the educators and the students can be using our technology and our content. Okay, next. Next, please. Okay, let's have a look at these three terms. First, we've got to understand what digitalization is. And then there's, of course, TVET. And then there is teaching and learning. So this is my topic, the digitalization of TVET, teaching and learning. before we go in deeper, let's have a look at digitalization. Next. So these are the two main things that we'll be talking about today. Oh, this is not the latest slide because the latest one I did erase the green marketing is a practice, so on and so forth. Anyway, the idea is it's digitalization and it's TVET. Next. Okay, this is what you have to understand from digitalization. It comes from three separate, it has got its own process. It begins with digitization, yeah. Please do not get all of this confused because it's part and parcel of one big idea. Digitization means you're converting all your analog data to data. You're converting all your analog information to digital, right? So that is the first process that you have got to undergo. You have got to change all your analog into digital. If you don't do that, we cannot talk about digitalization. So there's a very important factor for us to understand. People today talk about digitalization and so on and so forth, but they forget the importance of digitization. No data, no digitalization, right? You've got to put everything online before you can do your digitalization. So everything online means you got to have a very, very important, very, very secured, very, very dedicated online servers that keep all your digitization processes. And that comes with the right people managing it, the right infrastructure, and so on and so forth. That by itself, we are lacking. Yeah, we do not have a proper digitization campaign to digitize all our products. Then, once we digitize, only then can we go into digitalization. That's what the topic is today. Yeah? So, the digitalization means you already digitize all your analog data, for instance. You have it online, you have it in your servers, you have it somewhere in the cloud. Then now you start to think about the process. So as far as this webinar is concerned, it's about teaching and learning. Teaching and learning is a process, right? Like everything else. So what's the process like? Once you spell out the process, then you can start using your digitization components, your videos, your e-notes, your ebooks, your PowerPoints, everything. Those are the things that are in digital form. So we can use all of this in the process of teaching it. All right. So that is digitalization. So today we know that we are talking about synchronization, we are talking about asynchronization, and we're talking about face-to-face if you're into blended. I think these two words are very, very, I should say, you've been hearing it over and over again for the past 1.5 years during COVID, synchronization and asynchronization. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is digitalization. Itu baru satu proses. There's just one process, teaching and learning. By itself, it cannot expand. You got to have many other processes put together. You got to have, in terms of education, you got to have the students' background. You got to have the curriculum. Everything has got to be, the process has got to be built in complete form, so that you can go to the next level, which is the digital transformation, where you start to use the digitalization process to change, to transform your institution, right? You can have an open institution. Nobody comes to class. Everybody's doing online. But yet they can access your workshops. They can access your libraries. They can access your labs and so on and so forth using the visualization techniques and so on. All right. So you have got 3 stages. You have to remember this. You cannot talk about digitalization if digitization is not being addressed. We cannot talk about digital transformation if the other two is not being looked into seriously. Right. So this is something you have got to understand. Next. Now TVET, as what the moderator has said, it's technical and vocational education and training. This is from Univoc. I took it from Univoc. comprising of education, training, skills development in a wide range of occupational fields, production, services, and livelihood. As a part of lifelong learning, what is important from this definition is that TVET is very, very much closely related with how the industry sees itself, how it practices itself, how it is organized, and so on, right? So TVET education, TVET is very much interrelated with the world of work, the world of industry or entrepreneurship. So you have to keep that in mind, right? And that is what differs TVET from academic proper, right? TVET is very much oriented towards the industry. We expect our graduates to work as soon as they graduate. They can go up and increase and take on more courses and so on and so forth. But in the end, it's all about getting to work as fast as soon as possible. So that is TVET. Next. So again, let's have a look at TVET. Within TVET, there are also two domains. Yeah, there is on your left, there is skills TVET, which is very much psychomotor based, and there is the academic TVET, which is more cognitive based. All right. So let's see this in a slightly closer detail. Next. Okay. We in DPCCE, we have got the the community colleges, and we have got the polytechnic, right? The college community is more geared towards the skills TVET, whereas the polytechnic is more geared toward the academic TVET. Both are practical based, right? Both are practical based, and both are industry driven or industry led. Yeah. Now, what the difference here is that in psychomotor base, it's you're still assessing. They're looking at how you use your hands and so on to conduct, to solve a problem or to work on a problem based on processes, right? So you know the processes is how good you are, and you use your hands and your eyes and your senses to work on that process, right? Now, in academic TVET, you're still using your senses, right? Let's not fool ourselves. It's still practical based, but you are being driven by abstract theories. You are being driven by abstract concepts, right? So it's not just the process that you know how to do. It's why you're doing it this way and not that way. Why you're doing it, what you're trying to achieve, because you understand the whole thing in more detail. So that is the difference that I personally see between skills TVET and academic TVET. Two very important components of TVET that we have got to understand that is out here. And this is what makes TVET very, very exciting. All right, next. So technology today, we cannot run from that, right? We are talking about digitalization. We have got to talk about technology. And this is my favorite subject. Let's go next. Let me introduce you to two very important luminaries, right? I think you know one of them. Mr. Klaus Schwab, who is the CEO of the World Economic Forum, WEF. He is the person who came out with the term the fourth industrial revolution that shook the world, and everyone is trying to get on board, trying to understand it, and so on and so forth. That's the book, yeah? So he's the executive chairman of World Economic Forum. He says the world industry is divided into four phases: 1, 2, 3, and the fourth industrial revolution. On the other side, we have got Mr. Jeremy Rifkin, also an economist, who talks about the third industrial revolution. He dismisses Klaus Schwab's fourth industrial revolution. He says there is no such thing as number 4. It's only 3. Tiga saja. All right? No number 4. 3. Right? So these are two figures that exist in today's world who are they are talking about their own perspectives. but what they're trying to, they're just trying to compartmentalize the industrial revolutions, and both of them have got a point of view, right? Klaus Schwab is looking at something else, and Jeremy Rifkin is looking at something else. All right, so they just demarcate it differently. Right. Next. So this is the industrial revolutions. This is what I've been talking about, and what Klaus Schwab or Jeremy is talking about. The first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Right. So Klaus Schwab goes from 1 to number 4, whereas Jeremy Rifkin goes to 1 to number 3. There is no 4. He says 4 is part of 3. 4 is part of 3. You're still in the digital revolution, right? So this is what that makes difference between Klaus Schwab and Jeremy Rifkin. But no matter how the differences is, we have got to agree that the world is changing. Yeah, dunia berubah. The world is changing, and it's going to affect the way not only teaching and learning, but the way we live and the way we collaborate, and so on and so forth. Next. Okay, these are very important. Two more important people who have spoken two interesting things. Clive Humphrey in 2006 has said that data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. Yeah, and by that we all understand how important data is, or data is. It's like the oil business that was once. You need oil; it's everywhere. Without data, you cannot move far, right? Because it's expensive as oil was back then. Yeah. So, and still is. Yeah. So our data is the new oil. Those who have got lots of data can control the market, can control the economy, and so on and so forth. So we are after that. Provided you keep your data, you digitize your data. If you don't digitize your data, data is worthless, right? But the problem is, we may not want to keep our data, but the other parts of the world who we are competing with economically are keeping their data, right? So we have no choice but to embark on the same journey as they have. Number one, data is the new oil. Number two, he says, Andrew Eng says, AI is the new electricity. We know about electricity. In most parts of Malaysia, in most parts of the world, we have electricity, yeah, and we take it for granted. Our children take it for granted. They leave their rooms with the fan or the aircon or the light still on. They are born with electricity, right? So we on the other hand, we value electricity because we are paying the bills, right? So on the other hand, for these kids, to them electricity is given. It's something that they grew up with. It's like air that you breathe, right? It's there. You just switch it on. You get whatever it is that you want. It's so out there. It's so everywhere, ubiquitous that they take it for granted. Soon, AI will be the same, right? AI will be the same. AI will be embedded in almost all aspects of your life. It will touch you on everything, and it's beginning to do so, right? From your handphones to your free refrigerators to your television to Netflix to Airbnb. Everything has got a bit of this AI in it that makes your life slightly easier, if not more complicated, right? It makes your life easier because you have got more choices. It gives you, it finds for you the best choice. It suggests to you, but if you're not aware, it can lead you into a rabbit hole. We have heard of the word a rabbit hole. They give you suggestions based on what you like, and you follow those trails, and you end up totally in a different mindset, in a different world, not together with the rest of us that's living in a different world. So be careful of what AI can do. It's very powerful, but of course, we human beings are the ones who's programming it, and we have to use it wisely. Yeah. Next. Okay, again, these are the 9 pillars of Industry 4.0, or the fourth industrial revolution, especially when manufacturing is concerned. So I think this is by now, you all know it by heart. As far as teaching and learning is concerned, as what we can do at the moment, you're talking about integrated, augmented reality. Yeah, we're talking about augmented reality, And that is what you'll be seeing some of the examples that I will be showing. Next. Now, this is the criteria, or this is the character of digitalization. Digitalization allows people who uses it to break boundaries. If in those days you live in a world called domain A, you live in it, right? But with digitalization, with digital technology, you can break. You can go into domain B, domain C, everyone can meet together. The boundaries are no longer there. It's blurring. You can break faster. You can go into another area where you were not supposed to go in the first place. You can do that, right? So the world is becoming smaller in that sense, right? Because you are now one whole world rather than Malaysia. You are now not just a teacher, you are also someone who is at the industry working. Technology allows that, right? You can be 2 or 3 things at one time because the technology allows you to break the boundary, the traditional boundaries that we once lived in, all right? So again, a very powerful tool, but nevertheless a tool. Please remember that. Technology is a tool, but it's a very powerful tool, but it is still a tool, right? So next. Now we go into teaching and learning. So teaching and learning, next. Right, there's so many philosophies of education and so on. I'll be just focusing on this. We talk about student-centered learning and we talk about teacher-centered learning. Now, in education these days towards the 21st century, towards digitalization, student-centered learning has become very popular, right? In fact, without student-centered learning taking its root and becoming more mature, we will find that our students, it's difficult to teach our students because they expect teachers to be the center of their world, right? Whereas towards the 21st century, the students are the ones who have got to own the learning, right? Who have got to put together their thoughts, plan their activities, and so on, right? So much so that there's a term today that is known as hacker school. And you can hack your own education. You don't have to go to school, right? You're so good, you have got internet, you've got digitalization, you can study your own, right? So you can call it, they hack their own school and they go and take your SPM and so on. Right? So those are the concepts that are already there. So we have got student-centered learning, student very much in control of their own learning, and then we've got teacher-centered learning, like I'm sitting in front of the camera or sitting in front of the whiteboard or whatever it is, I'm talking to you, I'm telling you, I'm feeding you information, right? So 2 different worlds, right? And today, the SCL is getting more and more important. But that doesn't mean TCL is not important. It has its place, right? Next. Okay, this is a simple graphic I put together. We have got on the top part, we have got the early semesters, and the later part, we have got the late semester. So semester 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the early semesters, we expect our students to be more provided with teacher-centered model, right? We expect our teachers to be more giving them information, feeding them knowledge. But as you go towards the end, we expect our students to practice student-centered learning, right? So this is the model that we sort of follow by. We begin with how important the teacher is and what are his role or her role, and as she goes along, or as the teacher goes along to the end of the semesters, to the final year projects, to the industrial training, to the capstone projects, to the semester 5, semester 4 semesters, we find that they are now more facilitators and they must allow the students to take control. But you cannot just switch on and switch off. Okay, students, time for student-centered learning, on. It doesn't work that way, right? You have to train. You have to train them from semester 1 to think. If you don't train them from semester 1 to think on their own, you cannot expect the switch to be switched on during the final semesters. No way, right? Of course, they are so into teacher-centered model that it's difficult even for us, especially for me, who comes from a very much teacher-centered model, to become a student-centered model. It takes a different kind of discipline. And discipline cannot be absorbed and be practiced in a single day. It has to be developed over time. So teachers' role is to develop that. And with digital learning, student-centered learning is very, very important. I repeat, because it's such important, with digital online learning, student-centered model is very important. If you, the teachers, if we, the teachers, do not train them from semester 1 until semester 6, how to become SCM student, SCL students, then we are having a problem, right? It defeats the benefit of digitization. Yeah. Next. Okay, this is roughly our the way our curriculum works, the whole idea of teaching and learning in as far as polytechnic and community college is concerned. We call it industry agenda, or INDI. The early parts of the semester is about, you have to expose the students to learning about work, because it's not just academic. This is different from academic. As I told you from TVET definition, we work very closely with industries. So the first part of the semester, you must find ways to talk about learning about work. Hello, you're going to work. You have to inform your students from day one. Look, you are going to work in an industry, this kind of industry, this kind of industry, this kind of industry. Give them the awareness. So that is all about first year. All right. You can have students experience. You can have field trips. You can ask them to go and take any MOOC that's about that particular field of industry, just to give them the idea of where they are going. Most of the students do not know where they are going, or they've taken a course, but they cannot see what's the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. They are just following the progression of the semesters. Learning about work, very important. And this happens at the institution, right? In the middle part of the semesters, we are talking about learning through work. Tadi, learning about work. Now, learning through work. This is where the students do their projects. In that, they're having more industrial talks. They have competition based on industrial inputs. Based on industrial inputs, right? This happens at learning through work. You must have. Just now I was learning about work. Oh, this is work. I'm studying, but I'm going there. This is work. This is learning through work. Okay, I'm doing work now, but the inputs are coming from industry. The projects are coming from industry. I'm doing work. The last part, where he or she goes for her latihan industry, industrial training, or the work-based learning, is learning for work. This is where he or she is really getting her mind set, a psyche set, so that she's ready to leave the institution and work. So these are the 3 stages that we as an institution must understand, right? The problem is that you might be a lecturer in the learning through work only, semester 3. Someone else might be a lecturer in the learning about work. But if these 2 people do not talk to each other, then the whole big picture is lost, right? And if we lose the whole big picture, the students will be confused even more. So we have got to understand this as an institution before we plan anything. You see, the topic I'm talking today is not much on technology. Technology is there to help, but we have got to understand the ecosystem. We have got to understand what is it that we are trying to do. Only then can we use the tool, right? If we do not understand what is it that you want to do, then you will use the tool. I don't know. You can use the tool, but you will not use it as appropriately as possible, right? Next. Okay, putting them together. As far as DPCCE is concerned, digitalization of TVET, again, It is not just looking at the technology. We have got 6 columns here, right? We have got, well, there are TVET theory and class theories, tutorials. We have got TVET industrial guidance, and so on and so forth. There are 6 things we'll look at. One is the technology. Number 2 is the contents. Number 3, if we can call it e-TVET GOGI, if there's such a thing. Number 4 is the community, which is very important. Number 5 are the learning spaces. And number 6 is a competition that we call IDOLA. So all of these 6 is part and parcel, to me, digitalization of TVET. Remember, it's all processes. We are putting it together. We are using technology. We are digitizing it. The whole 6 pillars is what is the recipe for our digitization of TVET. Let's have a look at it. Right? Next. Next. Yeah, this is the LMS. Well, we have got CDOS, but this is not the only LMS that you can use. You can use any other LMSs. Besides CDOS, you can use your Google Classroom, you can use your WebEx, and so on and so forth. But this is something that is personal to DPCCE. And you look at the numbers, it's quite a big learning management system. It's been there for some time, and it suits the lecturers of DPCCE. Yeah, because it's not just for teaching and learning, it's also for kenaikan pangkat, it's also for research, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Next. Now we look at the e-contents. Next. So these are the type of contents besides PowerPoints and e-notes or e-books. These are the type of contents we're talking about. There are 6 types of contents, right? There is the traditional video. There is the 360 video. That means you watch the video, you can look at it 360. Then there is the interactive 360. The difference is that 360, you cannot be interactive. Say, I want to go here, I want to go there. It's not interactive. You just follow, you just look at whatever it is you want to look. All right. Then there's the virtual reality. Again, divided into 2. There is the virtual reality and there is the interactive, where you can do something with it. Right. And then there are the games, interactive game, virtual reality. So these are the 6 type of e-contents that DPCCE has made for TVET, right? And we have worked very closely with industry. And we have used the technology, right? We use the technology to break the boundary, to bring industry into campus, right? So that you are staying in campus, using these technologies, you can see how something is being done out there in the industry. All right. So this is how we are trying to TVET in DPCCE is trying to use technology to bridge the gap between technology and also industry and also education. Right. Next. So I'm just telling that there is this website. These are traditional videos. It's called Generation TVET. There are a couple of 100 videos there already on various topics, right? And most of them, it's with an industry, right? So DPCCE does work with industries, right? It's different from what we expect from the institution who do more teaching and learning direct based on the curriculum. What we are doing is we look at the curriculum, we go one step beyond. We try to work with industries to give a view of how the industries work and how they operate. And hopefully the teachers who understand the curriculum more in detail and see it being practiced outside can use these videos to get more insight. And as they are more insightful, then the students will benefit from their wisdom that they have got. So these are the videos that you can have a look. It's called Generation TVET. It's open. Everyone can have access to it. Yeah. So many topics here. Okay. Next. And this is the immersive learning. This is in a different website. You can scan the QR code and directly go into CEL, Center for E-Learning and Teaching, and you can access some of the e-contents that require you to use those well, Goggle Holders. These are not the expensive goggle sets. This is just simple 360. You just put in your camera. You can have a look at what is being played via the YouTube channel, Wi-Fi, and so on. Next. Okay, if you go to that site, you can please experiment, explore. You will find that there is a section for 360 videos. So this is where we are prepared, and we will keep on preparing videos in terms of 360 to take students into places where they cannot go. For example, a substation. No students are allowed to visit a substation. So we have brought our cameras into a substation and given the student a glimpse of what is it like in a substation. Number two, places that, in the age of funding being an issue, you can't always visit that place every year. Yeah, one is funding on our side. The second part is the other side. The industry has got to accept these students over and over and over again every year. So that creates a very unfriendly sort of situation, right? So we record it in a 360. Students can use it interactively to explore. So this is part of a course. I can't remember. It's in mechanical engineering. I think it has something to do with automotive workshop services management. This is under Kejuruteraan Mechanical. They have got one of these courses. Then we have got on architecture, we have got a green building. So we go in, explore the green building 360 degrees interactively. Yeah. Next. Again, a boiler operation. We can also use this technology to explore all technology. So for instance, that technology is getting obsolete, but the basic foundation is still there. The knowledge foundation is still there, but you don't use those equipments anymore. So you still need to give the students the idea. So the boiler, the set of boilers that's in Polytechnic Ungkoma is getting more obsolete, replaced by newer things. But the fundamental theories behind it is still important. So we do a recording, and then the students can follow it as part of the curriculum requirements. Warehouse, those who are into logistics can see firsthand what is happening in a warehouse. From how do the goods get in, sorted out, arranged, what are the equipments, and so on and so forth. Right? So they can look 360 and they can be very interactive. Food processing plant, especially for our friends in Polysas who are into food technology and so on. So very useful for them. Next. Example of the warehouse. So this is what you get. This is what I meant by it being very interactive. You can start to press buttons and explore, see what this man is doing with this equipment. I do not know what the name of this equipment. You want to know more, please find out. So follow this so you can see as what is happening in a warehouse, right? It gives you a 360 look from bottom to top, right? Next. Again, this is a different section. This is the receiving process. What happens to these packets? How are they going to be put in? So all this while is being moderated by an industry person. As I said, TVET is very, very different from education because we put industry as our main industry-driven, industry-led partners, even in teaching and learning. So we bring them into the classroom. Remember, breaking the boundaries, we bring them into the classroom as often as possible. Next. This is snorkeling, but it's under coral habitat. So the corals are there. You don't expect students to go in every semester to do this. Some students can't because they are disabled and so on and so forth. So we have created an underwater experience of identifying corals and fishes. This is for tourism, right? So they go in, they explore, and they understand, and together with the educator, they learn more, right? Next. So this is one of the scenes in of the coral where you can see someone in there. I can only see the leg. I can't see the head and the body. Anyway, it's much more clearer if you explore it on your own using the handphone or the laptop PC. This is just 360, I think. Right. Next. This the VR. This is something you're very familiar with. You're using virtual reality to open up a computer, understanding its parts, putting it back together, and so on. Basic stuff that you can do with the technology, right? You sometimes you don't get access to the labs that often. Sometimes the equipments are no longer there, but with this kind of technology, you on your own you can always explore and learn more, right? Next. Again, we will come to a sorry. Okay, before that, can we go back to the previous one? Sorry. Okay, all this equipment, how do we relate it to the student-centered learning and teacher-centered learning? Now, you need both, right? You need the teacher to tell you first what is it that you're going to see and how to think. That's important. What you're going to see and how you should think as a student, right? So they go and they explore and they see things, and comes the student-centered learning. The lecturer becomes the facilitator. He asks questions like, so what do you see? Why is it there? Why is it not there? What are the things that you expect to be there, but it's not there? Theory says it should be there, but in practical, it's not there. Why? So you can have a lively discussion. And this is where this kind of inputs or this kind of videos, this kind of technology helps our students and our lecturers to understand the situation in the real world and compare it with theory. All right. So not everything happens as in book, sometimes for a very good reason. All right. So it's good for us to understand, it's good to debate, and it's good to make it clear so that before the students step out into the world of work, they are ready. They don't go out with just theory-filled ideas and head, and they have not seen actuality at all. So that is what makes TVET at DPCCE different, because we are trying to bring in, via technology, as much information as possible. Okay, next. That is just the e-content. Now we are going to the pedagogy. So the pedagogy, or let's call it e-Pedagogy for our sake, because we're in TVET. Again, those are the websites. Those are the QR code. You can always scan them. So next, next please. So this is for the past 1.5 years. I think all of you would know by now, and you're also doing a webinar. These are all the pedagogical, mostly pedagogical inputs that we have brought, and they are online in a form of webinar, short videos. If you go to the website, you can see so many topics there, right? And the topics are coming from universities, coming from people from industries, coming from our own people in the polytechnics and the college communities. Everybody wants to share. It's a very good scenario that we have. Sharing is something that we do very well. So these topics are there, so many of them. I like this, how to teach using WhatsApp, for places where your students are almost no internet line, but your handphone still works. So WhatsApp can be seen as a very important technological tool to use. Next. Okay, the community. Next. Very important. Number 4, the community. Okay, next. These are our heroes. You can see the Captain America shield there. These are our heroes. Lecturers from polytechnics and college community who have developed innovative ideas, whether it be light boards, innovated light boards to be used, or some other techniques so that they can use it in their teaching and learning. Without this community, digitalization would also face some severe challenges. So you need to have a very strong community, human beings working with each other, sharing, using technology, no doubt. I told you technology is just a tool, but in the end, it's about human beings sharing ideas and thoughts, practices to make the community better. Next. This is, I think this is, yeah, this is too from College Community. Using technology to teach honeydew carving, right? It's also in the webinar. So I consider this as the heroes. These are the online heroes DPCCE has. Priceless, in fact. These are the people who explore ideas and technologies and make things happen. So salute, right? We could, the technology is only as good as technology, but you not use it innovatively, it's dead, right? So these people make it happen, right? Next. Again, this is for KKBDA, Bandar Darul Aman, automotive. So how do they use this kind of technology for the automotive class? It's all there in the webinars, and these are the communities that are helping out, right? Next. From Bandar Darul Aman Unit Computer, again, how this lady teacher uses technology again to teach electric and electronics, and there are more, and there's so many more. Polytechnics and college communities, so many of them have put together, compile and share their practices online. So you cannot say that, oh, I do not know how to do this or I don't know how to do that, because most of them started with zero, all right? Started with zero, but something in their heart wanted to share, wanted to learn more, wanted to do something extra, and they did it, right? So it's, again, it's up to us, right? Next. More heroes there, right? Next. All right, spaces. Now you got to have, when you have all these technologies, you got to have learning spaces, right? You want to put a goggle in, you want to use your VR, so you need to have some form of learning spaces. In college community, you know that Maker Market is a learning space that is being adopted for the college community, and it will spread. Now only five community colleges have got the Maker Market. Soon it will spread to more college communities. Next. These are the spaces that's going to be within the polytechnics. We have got the, we don't call it Maker Market, we call it Technology Enabled Collaborative Classroom or Digital Garages, and they are very collaborative in nature, they're very immersive in nature, so it fits the curriculum. Remember the academic side of it, right? It fits it perfectly. So we are trying to develop it as much as possible, right? And I'm seeing the next 5 years or 10 years, our polytechnics and our college communities will be filled with this interesting learning spaces. It's coming, all right? Inshallah. Next. And of course, you ask, people are working, people are doing wonderful things, people are exploring, people are teaching, and so on and so forth. We have got to appreciate them. And within the PCCE, we have known that there is IDOLA, which also Kolej Komuniti Kuching participated last year, and IDOLA will continue this year, of course, with the COVID. It also ran and hit itself under the table, but it's going to show up, rear its head again. It's going to make an appearance in 2022 as a mega one, 2 in 1 year. So here is where we appreciate all the best practices, all the best ideas, all the best videos, all the best. And we give them awards, and we recognize and we celebrate with them their achievements, right? Next. Okay, so this is it, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things are to be in place so that digitalization can succeed, as far as TPCC is concerned. So we're not just looking at technology and teaching and learning, we have to look at everything, right? Together as a puzzle, as an ecosystem, you want to use that word, right? So that digitalization, and innovation will succeed. Remember, technology is not the end goal, but an enabler of change. Just an enabler of change. Who makes the change? You and me. Without us, technology is just a tool in the garage. Thank you so much, Leo. Hope this has been helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nana. That was really, really insightful and really, really good. I think I learned a lot from today for your presentation. Okay, Doctor, we have a few questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, the first one would be actually, we like your idea about having strong community behind the technology, right? Do you think lecturers should be more open in sharing the technology innovation for adaptations by other institutions? Like, I see that you have Idola content, everything, right? So, what's your take for this, Doctor?
Uh, Let me understand the question. Do I think that lecturers should be more
Sharing,
uh,
be more open in sharing the technology innovation, because
with community?
yes, with the other
Ah,
institutions and all, yes.
okay. I think you should definitely, because you see the world is small. As I told you, it's small, right? Everything is connected. If you yourself are the ones who's growing and your partner and your neighbors are not moving, are not growing, then everybody is not going up, right? You have got to move together. The community and the lecturers, they have got to move together. You have to educate each other so that the whole nation becomes a much more prosperous nation and a more technology savvy nation and a more entrepreneurial nation. So yes, please share. That is the role of college community. Bring the light, whatever that you know, whatever technology that you have, to the communities and work together with them. All right. So that will definitely be a boon for CC. I agree.
Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, now, Doctor, there's one last question. Okay, as mentioned by Doctor, we are no longer taking baby steps. You see, we have like the 6 pillars, and we're talking about student more active, right? The student-centered learning programs, everything. Now, when everybody is talking about AI, artificial intelligence, 3D, and etc., where can the lecturers get a reliable resources in using the latest technology innovation? Because you see, they like to adopt, as far as I know, like they want to adopt all this AR, AI. So where can they get all this? Like
Okay.
the
In terms of 3D technology, remember there's one of the communities I showed on the photographs. I think the one in Polisas. So they created their own light table. The idea is there. It's in YouTube and so on. So they adopted it. They added value to it and so on. So the same thing with 3D printers, right? You can create your own. This is the whole. That's why maker market or maker spaces is very important. This is where you can create your own 3D printers. Now, as far as AI is concerned, AI is still on. I won't say new, but it's still expensive, right? Of course, there are already templates that you can use for basic, simple ones. We are trying to through DPCC, we are trying to educate the lecturers on using AI. But my suggestion for now, for the normal lecturers, you know, do not use AI. Do not go yet into AI. You're reaching too far. Use the HI, human intelligence, because there's a lot more that you need to explore on what you can do with the available technology that is out there. It will come, yeah, like everything else, it will come to your level. AI will be very cheap, but for
okay.
now, it's with the big boys or the big girls, yeah. They're developing it and so on and so forth. Be patient, so that it will come and it will be easier, right? But everything now you have got to pay. That's the thing, yeah. We can't
Yes.
expect the government to provide everything. Everything's online. You can use so many apps that are using AI already. But package 1, package 2, package 3, package premier, semua kena bayar duit. But it's a good investment if you really want to explore technology. Okay, so that is my advice to you. You have to buy your own pen. You as a teacher have to buy your own markers. It's time to buy your own devices and invest in a few apps.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Nana.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, so we shall move into the next speaker. Thank you, Doctor. See you
So do
again.
how do I live?
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, developing relatedness, okay, between students, between themselves and students, and between students and society were reported as motivations for innovative teaching. Yeah? Some teaching innovations were motivated by the educator's desire for greater personal or students' well-being. So now we are talking, what motivates higher education educators to innovate actually? All right. Okay, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our next speaker who is going to talk to us about innovation in education. This is a subject in which we should all be deeply interested because it is to know a lecturer to innovate that we can best ensure our education system future. Our speaker, having spent almost her entire career lecturing on entrepreneurship, she was with the Department of Polytechnic and Community College, specifically in various polytechnics, who is now lecturing in University Technology Malaysia, UTM. She has published in a number of articles for entrepreneurship and innovations. She is also a well sought after judge in innovation competition. She's an all inspiring award winning and champion for innovation competitions in both national and international level, such as Business Model Canvas, International Invention Innovation Competition, ICANN in Canada, and many, many more. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Logaiswari Indiran. Hello, Dr. Logas. Good morning.
Hi, Liu. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, I can hear you clearly. You look good today. In
Thank
a
you. Thank
yellow
you.
blouse. I like.
Thanks, Liu. How are you?
Okay.
How's everything there?
Yes, we're all doing good. Okay, doctor. You can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Can we have the slide?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liu, for inviting for this sharing session. Actually, I would like to say that it's a sharing session. Okay, so innovation in education. Actually, before I start looking at hearing that Liu speak about me, so I would like also to thank Polytechnic because have they what I am now is because Polytechnic have groomed me 19 years in Polytechnic. And now I have been in UTM for 1 year. So I started my innovation journey actually from Polytechnic. Okay, so how do actually I started to learn to how to innovate? So I would like to share at the end of the day of the session today. I hope that maybe some of you, hopefully everyone who's listening, will have a motivation to innovate. Okay, and not only motivation, that you'll start to act, to join any competition, start slowly. Okay, so before I go further, so I would like to look into what is innovation. Okay, let's look into what is actually innovation. Okay, innovation is actually a practical implementation of ideas. Okay, actually it's about ideas. Start with ideas, okay, which results in introduction of new good or services or improvement. Okay, it either can be radical innovation where it's very new, or it can be incremental innovation where already exists, you would like to give something new to the existing market or existing technology. So that is we called innovation. Okay, simply put, I can say innovation is doing a new thing or doing things in a new way. So either one, you can actually design a new product, or can design you can improvise the existing process, product, or anything that you have in your mind, your program. So that can be innovation as well. Okay, next. So there are some interesting books to read on innovation. Actually, when we read books or we listen to YouTube, or we read any magazine articles. There are so many things that you can learn from the other successful businessmen. When we look into successful businessmen, for example, Steve Jobs, who have innovated Apple, right? Today, everyone, mostly even students, are using Apple, right? But it's because of, we don't say that he is successful from day one. He also have a lot of failures. So when we read the book, we can identify what were, we can actually know what is their failure also, in how do actually they fail. So we do not want to fail also, right? So we can learn from them. So it will avoid us to fall into the valley of death. So because time is very precious, we are educators, we are teaching at the same time, and we want to innovate also. So we do not want to do mistakes. So there are few books that you can look into. There are just 4 books that I'm given here. You can look into many other books. Next. Okay, why do actually educators innovate? Do you think innovation is important? Yes, no, no, yes, sometimes. I do not know what is in your mind, okay? But why actually do we need to innovate is first because of evolving technology and globalization, because technology is moving so fast, and we need to innovate because we want to have the latest, we want to give the latest to the students, right? Our core is our students. We have to take care of customer, other students, so we have to take care of our students. So that's why educators need to innovate. We do not want to be late. We want to provide the best education, even not in Malaysia. We want to provide the best education in the world. So we have to make sure that we keep in track with what is happening. That is why we need to innovate. That is the first one. Second, because we have diversified students' character, even educators' characters, right? So you can even innovate something related to the students, or something to for the lecturers, for the educators to use. So that is another way, because not all the students are same. So we have student-centered learning, right? Or we also have teacher-centered learning. So which one? So you can innovate for both sides. Okay. Next is about crisis or any pandemic. Okay. For example, this COVID pandemic also have actually accelerate the innovation development, not only in education, also in many other industries, for example, health industries, right? So, but however, come to education industry, yes, this pandemic have given a big game changer for our education industry, right? Those days we might not be using online. Now, we are forced to use online, right? But now it become a norm for us to use online teaching. Even we are using live classes. Okay, from traditional we are going for live classes. We are forced to, because this pandemic have changed us. So we need to innovate. Okay, and the last one is for unknown future. We do not know, everything is vague. We do not know, it is unknown. We do not know what is going to happen next, right? After the pandemic end, or will this pandemic end? We do not know. Are we going to continue with these live classes, or we will have hybrid, or are we going back to traditional classes? So all these are unknown feature. So we have to keep innovating. If let's say we are going back to traditional classes, we might have hybrid. We might innovate with what we have learned now. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, next. So, did you know that education, okay, innovation is very important, as all of us are educators, including me, including most of us are educators. Okay, then not only innovation we have, not only startup has to do to innovate, not only entrepreneur has to innovate, we as educator also have to innovate. So mostly in our education, we are the one who facing the problems, right? Innovation start with the problem. What is the problem? So we need to solve the problem, then only we can innovate. So who will understand our problem? Education's problem. So lecturers, educators, students will understand the problem, what's happening. So we are the better innovator compared to anyone else. Okay, so that's very important to innovate. So we are responsible to innovate, right, for in education. So that is very important. Then who else going to innovate for our students? So because we understand the problem, that is very important. Later part I will discuss about what is the problem, okay? So we have a lot of things that you can do in innovation, okay, education innovation. For example, disruption, okay, whether last time before this we have classical, traditional class, right? Now we are going for live classes. So then what, how, now all of us are, another one is now all of us are teaching from home, okay, we are having online classes, okay. So what will be, what will happen to these schools which infrastructure with high cost infrastructure, and even some of the colleges just built, they just launched, and they, when they go back to the online classes and it is just empty. So how will be the future of all these schools? Maybe we should change, maybe we won't have schools at all, will we? We do not know what is the future. So maybe we should change all these schools to training center to make sure that we can commercialize and get some money. Okay, we can generate income for the schools, for the organization, for the universities, for polytechnic, for college community. Why not? Maybe all the labs, okay? Maybe we can commercialize all the lab. Okay, at UTM we do commercialized. Okay, we have to generate income, right, at UTM. So one of the way is we we always uh, promote, and others community can come and use. For example, if polytechnic want to come and use UTM lab, engineering labs, you know, you can, of course, with some charges, and there they generate income. So when now during pandemic or post pandemic, all the school maybe choose, especially private school, if they choose to use to do go for online classes, so the infrastructure there, maybe we can change to training center with short courses. So that can be another way. You can integrate design thinking in innovating, reaching the parents. How do we reach the parents? So we can do some innovation regarding that. The next one is skill, which I really like, because very important now is we should think about how to develop skills, because we are having, like, before, even before, we have to think about that, how to develop skills, critical thinking among students. And now during this online live classes, how do actually we want to develop skill? How do actually we evaluate the skills developed among the students? We do not know, even they do not on the video. So how do you expect, you know? So maybe to evaluate them, to evaluate the skill that developed with among them. So you have to innovate something, you know, maybe you can innovate something that related to evaluation during online classes. So there's many things you can think about innovation in education. So how the delivery model is the basic thing that many of us will be doing, especially when we think about education, right? Delivering models. Just now previous speaker have given, Dr. Nana have given a lot of examples of how we deliver models, okay, modules to the students. Okay, so that's many examples. Okay, next. Can we have next slide? Okay, how do we innovate? Now come to my main gist of my presentation, is my sharing session, is how do we innovate. Of course, a lot of people will think that how do we innovate. Okay, will ask, Dr. Lugis, you will be thinking that Lugis, you might say that it's very easy to innovate. How to innovate? You know, a lot of people will think that innovation is something like very big, very challenging, or very no, I'm no, I'm not creative. Even me, I always used to say, to tell my friends that I'm not innovator, I'm not innovative, or I'm not creative. I like to use the word creative. I'm not creative. You know, even design slide or anything, I'm not creative. You know, I always used to say that. But things have changed. You know, a lot of things have changed me. Okay, so where I always believe that you do small, okay, small in a great way. So start with a small introduction of technology. Now we talk about digitalization. So you have to make sure that maybe you can try to integrate technology, test new technology, but keep it simple. Remember that, keep it simple. Okay, for example, these are the example that actually have taken from UTM winners. Okay, there are examples of UTM winners in one of the competitions. Okay, so they have conducted peer tutoring in Facebook. So you see, it is very simple, but yet it is an innovative idea where you can do tutoring using Facebook, because students like Facebook. If we ask them to join our class, they might not want to join. But if you ask in Facebook, they really like to spend hours in Facebook. So you can also have something related to Facebook, okay? Or infographic like Canva right nowadays actually doing great. Everyone is using Canva, so maybe you can create something related to infographic, but you use Canva. So the best is you can see some other samples, then your competitors, then you can do some analysis on the competitors. That is very important. Then of course we don't copy, right? We want to innovate. Okay, we look into the value that they are giving and what are the new value that we want to introduce to our customer. So that is very important. To our student, that is very important. Next is you can prepare study kit. Okay, so maybe you are teaching law or teaching engineering students, but you have very technical subjects that students, it's not easy for the students to remember. So you can come up with something, some easy method to teach them. So study kit. Gaming in education, this is another digital involvement in education. Okay, so you can do gaming in education. This is very popular nowadays. Okay, and students really like gaming, but you have to remember that it has to give some impact to the student before and after. Okay, so you have to test on before and after. Okay, for example, language is a very boring subject, right, for language teachers. Okay, educators, so boring subject where students do not want to learn. So how to make them interested, and at the same time not only interesting, at the same time shorten the learning curve. Okay, so maybe it takes like 4 months for a student to understand about the vocabulary, okay, on certain topic, but on engineering, for example, presentation. So but maybe with your game board, it just take about 2 months. They can just really get excited. They're waiting for example, if Liu is the lecturer, so waiting for Miss Liu's class. Okay, so we can't wait to play the game. And at the end of the day, so you can have at the end of the day, you can have a good impact. Okay, so next is CDIO. That is conceive, design, implement, and operate for engineering projects. Okay, CDIO, even in Polytechnic, they have CDIO project where you integrate few courses together. Okay, and you have a different evaluation method. Okay, you also can have a capstone, cornerstone project where you have one main project, but you have different evaluation for each of the module. So that is very interesting actually. Okay, CDIO, you can have that as one of your innovation way of guiding the students, giving some impact to the students. Next is maybe you can use drone for education purpose. Okay, this is for engineering lecturers. Because drone, we are using drone in many things now. Even for COVID cases, there are in some countries that we are using drone to supply the vaccine. Okay, to deliver the vaccine. So it's really helpful. Okay, so Zipline is one a company of actually drone company that deliver vaccine, okay, to the patient. Okay, so that's really good. So maybe we can use drone for education purpose. Okay, then mobile apps. Everyone is using mobile apps. Okay, so you can not only for special children, here I give for special children, but you can use mobile app for many purpose in education, because students like, right, to use smartphone. They really using phone technology devices. Okay, so you can have that, okay, in your mind to think about, oh, I want to do something. This is the problem. Okay, students are not engaging, so I would like to give something to students using mobile apps. Okay, then how to teach. Okay, give experiencing learning, maybe through competitions. So it is another way, or through boot camp, to practical, through simulation. For example, tourism students, maybe you can give some simulations for them. Okay, then competition. I just want to share with you one of my project. Okay, like in UTM when I joined. So we were conducting a project on the for students, final year students. Of course, Polytechnic, we also have final year students, right? Final year students, what they do, they innovate. Okay, they come out with a project, right? With the innovation idea, you already give the team, they already come out and they will just present at the end of the semester. Am I correct? Okay. But here, what we do is we have come up with a program where you have to pitch for funding. Funding, that means the final year project, they have to come up with a slide to pitch the project. Okay, so the idea, the research idea, normally we pitch our innovation idea, right? But this is pitch your research idea. Research also is an innovation, am I correct? So that is very important. So at the end of the day, so in fact, I have nominated that project for a competition as an innovation competition, where I feel that it is innovation, because before this, traditionally, we only ask them how to provide we only ask them to provide a presentation. We ask them to present, right? How ask them to present in the class. But now we call the industry player, we call our adjunct professor, our industry players, and also our educators to play, to be the panel. So when they're presenting, they have to pitch for the fund. Of course, we get some sponsor for funding. Okay, so the winner will get 1,000. So they have to pitch for that fund. Okay, pitch their research idea. So the industry player, what are the impact? You can ask me, what is the impact, Logis? The impact is, you see, when industry player comes in, what will happen is they will give some input based on what is happening in the industry. So that is very important. The collaborative learning, that's very important. So industry player will come and say, oh, this is not correct. You are not thinking out of the box. We are doing that in the industry, because the students doesn't know, right? The student doesn't know that what is happening in the real business world. So when the industry player, the adjunct professors come in, so they will give all these comments. The constructive comments are very important for the students. So that is very important. And next is customized mentor-mentee programs, okay, and international collaboration. So you can have mentor-mentee program also. We can integrate the technologies in all of the ideas that given here. For example, you can be the best is sometimes you can be the moderator between the customer and also the developer, the innovators and also the developer. So you can be the mediator. For example, you can, like, I was thinking about, you can prepare a platform within the students and also industry platform, so where maybe they can throw the ideas and industry players can give comments. So when you create the platform, it can be your innovation idea already, right? Where it is innovation, if you're teaching final year project, so it will be an innovation project for you. Okay, next slide. Okay, next is about what is how do you integrate? This is some tips. How just now I said, how do we integrate? This is, you have to have a synergy among within the departments. Okay, integrate few talents together. For example, I'm a management lady, so I might join with tourism people, or maybe I would like to join with mechanical people, or mechanical lecturers want to do some project and they need management people, they need marketing people. Okay, maybe want to market themselves, so they might need all this. So I always advise all these lecturers to have collaborations with management people. Why? It's not because I'm from management, because I feel in innovation we always need accounting, we always need to do budget, we always need to do pricing strategy, we always, very important that Malaysians always overlook is marketing. Okay, so have to have, if you have marketing people, it will be very, very easy. Rather than you want to outsource the project, it is better than you let them be your member. Okay, so that's very good. Even in fact, one of my project that I have innovated with my team before this. Okay, so it's a wristband which can identify the emotions of special children. But you might be thinking, Lugis, you are management lady, so how can you innovate something so technical? So of course, we have our member. I have designer in my team. I also have electrical people in my team, and of course, I outsourced this project. I was a student at UTM during that time, so we had our but UTM also groom our team, okay, to present well, to innovate, to design the prototype. So we have computer engineering people to design for us. Okay, we get some grant from UTM itself. Okay, when I was a student. Okay, so next slide. So remember, work in team, not in silo. Okay, start small but end in a great success. Always remember that. So when I still remember when I started in my beginning stage in my innovation journey. So always my mentor always tell, okay, don't relax, relax. They will say, relax, okay, don't think so big. Okay, try to think small, but you have a great success. Okay, but we do great small in a great way, right? So that is very important. So think in small way. What is the problem now? That is very important. Very important. What is the problem now? So you try to solve that problem. Okay. So next. Focus. This is very important. When I say problem, focus on what student want and needs, not what on what you want. Okay, because the customer, as there are our students, right? Customers are our students. What they are our students, they're going to use. Okay, even if you are designing something for lecturers, so who are your customer now? Lecturers are your customers. So you have to know what do they want, what do they need. Okay, so maybe they're having problem communicating with the lecturers during online classes, so you create something. Okay, maybe they forget because there are so many classes, so you create an alarm system for the students. Okay, so maybe you want to create a ebook platform, so you can create many things. So you have to think about what are the problems that actually the student are facing. That is very important. And next slide, please. Okay, so very important. In fact, this is my last tips. Okay, validate your idea. So when you think, oh, this is the problem, students are having difficulties. Okay, too many subjects, too many assignments, how to do a time management for them. Okay, so you have to think about, validate your idea. Not only your idea, your problem itself, you can go and validate. You can ask the students, normally what do you do? Oh, I only have on my things to do or list on my e-learning. Okay, I always confuse, always ask my friends. Okay, so then you know, oh, okay, what do you like to have? Oh, I think I'll be very happy if you can design Logis, a platform where we have so many, where I can manage my time accordingly. I know where's my class, everything, what is my assignment, due date, where integrate all the subjects together in one platform. Oh, I'll be very happy with it. So you will get some idea already. Then you go back, then you try to improvise that given idea, feedback, then with your original idea. I'm sure you have something in your mind, right? So just map these two and try to innovate something, and not straight away go to for developing. Okay, you have to validate again, validate, keep on validate until you feel that, oh, it is saturated, I feel this is the one that I'm going to develop my prototype. Then after prototype, validate again. Then already, okay, you want to do any pivot, okay, any changes, then you do pivot, you pivot the idea, the prototype, then you develop your product, then you go for commercialization. So I think next topic will be commercialization. Dr. Hadi will take over on how you commercialize your ideas. Next. This is my second last slide. Okay, uh, before we innovate, okay, it's difficult to innovate. You might think, Logis, you are speaking like so easy to innovate, but it is difficult to innovate. I agree with you, but you have to use some tools to assist you. So maybe some of you have heard about business model canvas, BMC. So it is a tool to assist you. Okay, so business model canvas is a business model where, whenever you go for a journey, whenever you want to, for example, let's say I'm going from here to I'm from Johor, so let's say I'm going to Putrajaya. I do not know the way, so I use GPS as a tool to help me, right? So that's important. BMC is not only tools for startups to innovate, it also help the educators to innovate, to get an idea. So if you look here, they have 9 blocks. Okay, I'm not going to guide on this. Okay, or maybe we can have some other session, but you can have, what is your customer segment? Oh, the buyer, who will buy? The parents will buy the app, but the students will use. So they are the users. What is the value proposition that I'm giving? So what is the pricing, cost? Who will be the key partner? All the important elements you will have in your mind before you start to develop your prototype. So I think it is a very beautiful and useful model that everyone. Beside business model, we also have lean canvas, we also have design thinking. You can use any other to help you to make sure that you are in the correct path, you don't miss out anything. So I really wish everyone all the best, okay, to innovate. That's all, you. I think. Okay. So remember, people will not forget when you have make some changes in their life. Okay. So try to be someone in their life, especially for students. Thanks,
Okay,
Liu.
thank you. Thank you, Dr. Loges. That's very entertaining, very helpful for the lecturers, actually. Okay, I have a few questions for you, Doctor.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, because when you talk about innovations, right? Now, what makes you like you always be motivated to innovate? I see there's a few examples, and I also know Dr. Loges, you join a lot of competitions almost every year, right? You without fail, you join any competition on innovations. So, can you please share with us how to increase the educators' motivation to innovate? Actually.
Okay, thanks, Lou. Very interesting question. Actually, yeah, honestly, I like to join competition to innovate because first, I like to meet people and speak to people, getting to know new people. So that's one. But beside that, when you go for competition, you can see some other ideas on the table. You see, beside you, you will go around and mix with people, and you will see some ideas. So come back when the next innovation will think, hey, that girl beside our table, opposite our table, from this college community, I've done this so simple, but so impactful. Maybe I can use that. We are not copying. Okay, we are just getting the idea and we are mapping with our own idea. So another one. Second, very important is constructive comments from the judges. Who will question you? The judge will
Mhm.
question you. So you all will prepare, and the next time when you innovate, you get some ideas. That is, I
Oh,
feel that good thing.
because okay, doctor, because as if I know, like, sometimes when we join competitions, right, we were hoping, of course we always want to win, okay, or else you don't want to join any competition. So let's say we tend to get demotivated, like we say, oh, this goal, always the same person, and then when it comes to me, or maybe, oh, I can never get there. So what's your advice on this? I mean, like, how did this to motivate, because we don't win goal, we want goal, so it became demotivation to us instead. Mm.
Okay, I do agree, Liu. Like, sometimes when we don't get goal, of course we hope to win, right? We don't win goal. I remember when with my team, we wanted to go US for the competition. I remember one of the lecturer, right, Dr. Yong, so he told us, Logace, why you are so nervous? If you don't win, you have done the best. When you go to the stage and pitch for the competition, remember that only one thing that you want to share. Remember that you want to share, not you want to win. But of course, during the process, you always think you want to win. But you are on the platform, on the stage, think that you want to share this innovation to the community. That's all. Okay. After that, if you did not win, also, no one going to kill you. You then going to ask you? No, we are not going to ask you. So of course, your question is that is one thing. Your question is how to motivate. Oh, remember, Liu, when we fail, okay, failure is the best teacher, right? But of course, not always, right? So the next you will learn how to win. Okay, so try to have. That's why I say synergy within other department. Okay, I always have a lot of teams, not only my department. I always have from different department. Different now. I'm in university. Even in poly, I have different poly. I am very very close with lecturers from other poly, and we join together to go for conference. Of course, to have fun, but at the same time, we get a lot of knowledge. Okay, so that is very important. Synergy, and failure is the best teacher to groom you.
Okay, doctor, because doctor mentioned about your time with polytechnic, right? Okay, can I ask, you have experience both in polytechnic system, and now you're with the university. Okay, so as far as we know, they are similar, but yet they're not the same. Okay, so what's your take in terms of innovation now that you're in both totally different systems? Is it like easier, or maybe more chances, or is there there's no difference at all actually? So
Questions to compare. Right, I understand you're asking about in terms of innovation, okay, but of course I cannot
uh,
compare, right? Both, I always used to say I love polytechnic to my supervisors, those days. Even now I love, okay. So, okay, a very good questions where I feel I would like to share with everyone here. So, what is the difference within innovation before this when I was in poly and UTM? This is by my reading. don't generalize my reading, okay,
Okay.
my perception, my reading. I feel first is, of course, the students' level are different. Okay, here we have a degree, master, and PhD. So the need of the students are different. See, the need in polytechnics are different. So you have to look into that. Here, technical are more. So here you go for, if like say PhD, master, they go for research idea. So the way you innovate will be different already. So that's why the program learning PLO, CLO, you have to understand that. Okay, so you have to understand what do you actually the student want. So the different level of student first. Second, that I feel that here they more in university UTM, they focus more on critical thinking, creativity of the students. Okay, we always try to give more, not on the domain of the subject. Like for example, I'm teach maths. I don't teach maths. I'm teaching entrepreneurship. I don't really teach entrepreneurship, but I'm teaching about how the students should be creative. We always want to see the impact. Of course, I can see here more on that. And the last one I like is here. I feel that the sharing of the innovation ideas among the educators, superb lah. Of course, we have competition. This is not competition. We have free future ready educators program where that 1 month November normally we'll have during semester break, where all the lecturers will share their innovative way of conducting the class. Okay, so I feel that wow, there are certain things I do not know. There are so many tools, right, to help us nowadays. You might use something else, like 1,000 lecturers, like 500 lecturers in one institution, 500, maybe 300 will be using different. But when you do this free session, sharing session among the lecturers, so you get to know about what is happening outside there. So rather than you work in silo, so that is very, I think, very different. Where I think maybe in polytechnic we have also, but maybe we can have it in a bigger way lah. So here is really famous. Well, they are not. I mean, they are more into sharing about their innovative idea. I can see
Okay.
that lah.
Okay, Doctor, we have another question from the viewer. Okay, this is from Cairo Ashraf Muhammad from Kolej Komuniti Jempol. Okay, thank you for your question. So the question is, Doctor, as a leader in an institution, how do we ensure multiple perspectives are heard in the innovation effort as a whole? The effort coming from lecturers, for example. So I feel that they're talking about multiple perspectives. Huh?
Okay. Okay, if I am correct, so asking example on how to ensure multiple perspectives are heard in the innovation effort as a whole. So I think just now I also gave some samples saying that synergy is very important among the lecturers. Okay, for example, marketing and mechanical lecturers, you can join together to innovate, so you can or sharing together. So marketing people or management people are doing in such a way, and mechanical or engineering lecturers are doing in such a way where we can map together, we can have some ideas how we can look forward, way forward for future. Okay, so that is I think very good. Another one is, I feel multiple perspective also can involve the industry player. Collaborative is very important, collaborative learning, where industry player comes in. Even our alumni can really give a big contributions. So when they give a lot of contributions, we can know the perspective of everyone, especially people from industry. You can know the real problem and real how to solve, whether our solution will meet the industry needs and wants or not. So I hope that I answer the question.
Okay. Doctor, you talk about collaboration, right? How to initiate collaborations within the institution and also with external collaborator? It's not easy for us to actually invite all these synergies that Doctor was saying. So how do we initiate it?
Actually, Liu, right? I feel that even when I was in poly, I always like to meet new people. That is maybe by character. But however, I feel that no one, everyone can change, right? So we always assume, the problem is we always assume that, oh, they are very strict. They are very, I don't think so they will share with us. I don't think so they will accept this invitation. We always assume. When I come to UTM, I learned something that we should not assume. That is one main thing that I learned. We should not assume. We always must try first. Okay, so always try. Okay, try to invite. Hey, Liu, I one of my good friend is my my team member for my project. Okay, so I didn't know her. Okay, so I went to her and I asked her, so do you want to join me? And now we are good friend. Okay, so I always remember, I always know that as invite, try it is just trying, don't assume. And another thing is use your network. That's why networking is very important. So you use your network. For example, my project that for special children, so we also get a letter from Kementerian Kebajikan, but I have a friend there. Okay, but an officer, normal officer. But then I contact him and I said, oh, can I get a letter of collaboration for my US competition? So you just can say that, I draft the letter and I say, we are interested to support you. We will support you if this product goes to market with term and condition applied. So they don't feel, you are committed to help you with the term and condition applied. So we put a letter saying that, it's okay when it goes to market, then we will collaborate. You can even call industry player. But of course, networking, if you have a networking earlier, you know them earlier, so it will help you also lah. Okay. So don't assume. My answer is don't assume. Just, try to muka tebal and ask. Okay. Because at the end, you can be a good
Yes.
friend with them.
Okay, as mentioned by Samsia Hussein in the comment box, okay, she said, I like that Dr. Loges, don't work in silo, all right? Silo
Okay.
is mentioned
Silo.
as, silo, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
silo. Alone.
Okay, Doctor, one last question for you, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
Okay, many things that innovation is something very challenging, right? Especially when it comes to technology involvement in the product and the services. Yes, we have like you collaborate, synergies, as mentioned by Doctor. But now, you see, when we innovate, especially when it comes into technology, it seems a bit challenging. So, what's your advice, Doctor?
Liu, I feel I actually is good question to me because I am not really into tech lady. I am a management lady. So when you ask me how do you do a band, people will ask me how do you do this? How do you do a platform? Actually we have a platform also, an online platform where virtual incubator platform, one of my project also with my team member. So how do you create this platform? Okay, so virtual incubator, virtual incubator studio. So, but how you create all this platform? Of course, I have my team member who can design. That's why team member is very important. If let's say you don't have a team member who are technology expert, it's okay. Later you can outsource them. The idea is yours. You outsource with them and ask them to comply with your idea. Of course, it will be very good if you know certain things because you have to learn. Someone in the team have to learn about the technology because if anything happen, you have to know also. It is not, it's like outsourced fully and you do not know anything. So if let's say that guy COVID, and he cannot answer you and you need some, immediate response. So you have your team member. So you have to have the best is have a good team member within you. So that's I think it will help lah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Loges, for such a wonderful sharing session with us today. I hope this is very useful for all the lecturers out there, the teachers, and also the students, especially the innovators. So anyway, thank you, Dr. Loges. See
Okay,
you again.
thanks. Okay,
All
thank you.
right.
Thank you, Liu. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks.
Thank you.
All the best
Okay.
to everyone. Okay.
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like we have covered up about digitalization for teaching and learning. And then now we already talk about how we want to innovate, okay, as we shared by Dr. Logaiswari earlier on. Now we move on. Now, what's the next step after we innovate? We already have the product. We already know, okay, this is digitalization for the teaching and learning material. Okay, so what's next? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like all of us, our next speaker truly understands the challenges of being as an innovator in the education industry when the technology is constantly changing. Now, commercialization is the process of introducing a new product or production method into commerce, making it available on the market. Now, commercializing your innovation is the most common way to see your invention reach the masses to achieve its intended societal benefit. However, they are about multiple influences that impact the commercial success of a product in the market. And our next speaker can introduce to you of the opportunity to evaluate your innovation and the opportunity in commercialize your innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our next speaker for today. He is currently the Deputy Director of Center of Research and Innovation in Polytechnic and Community College Education Department. He is also an IT expert who are closely involved in the research and innovation field, especially with the topic about commercialization in the education institution context. Welcome, technologist Dr. Muhammad Norhadi bin Muda. We are so glad you could be here today to share your insight on commercialization on innovative product. Alright, selamat pagi, Doktor.
Selamat pagi, good morning.
Morning, Doktor. So,
Okay,
how are you, Doktor? Good?
good, I fine.
Okay, thank you, Doktor. So, setahu saya, Doktor akan present sharing kita dalam bahasa Melayu hari ini.
Ya.
Okay, kita boleh terima je, Doktor.
Okay.
Santai-santai je, Doktor. Okay, good?
Okay, good.
Okay, now, Doktor. Okay, so silakan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Terima kasih kepada moderator, teknologis Liufon, pengaras Kolej Komuniti Kuching, Cik Suharyati Sulaiman, speaker Dr. Logaiswari, Dr. Nana dan Mr. Toh Eng Seong dan pensyarah-pensyarah Politeknik, Kolej Komuniti dan adik-adik pelajar Politeknik dan Kolej Komuniti. Okay, today pada hari ini saya akan cuba satu perkongsian ataupun knowledge sharing session tentang commercialization of innovative products. So ini adalah satu benda yang orang kata penting juga dalam sistem TVET kita, dalam sistem pendidikan politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti, dan kita mengharapkan juga sesi knowledge sharing ini dapat memberi manfaat lah kepada audien. Okay, next slide. Okay, focus on my presentation today. First one, I explain about the research, innovation and commercialization. Second, move forward commercialization and activity commercialization 2022. Okay, next slide. Okay, seterusnya kita lihat kepada satu perkara ataupun one more important to implement activity commercialization. The first one is the dasar ataupun dari segi punca kuasa untuk melaksanakan aktiviti commercialization ini, dan sebenarnya kalau ikut dia punya sejarah dia, kronologi dia, dia dah bermula dalam konteks Malaysia ini dah bermula pada tahun 1986, iaitu dasar pertama yang dikeluarkan oleh kerajaan melalui Kementerian Mosti, iaitu dasar Sains Teknologi Negara 1986 hingga 1989. Sampailah yang akhir sekali dikeluarkan pada tahun ini yang dilancarkan oleh bekas Menteri Mosti, iaitu Saudara Heri Jamaluddin, iaitu dasar Sains Teknologi Innovation Negara 2021 hingga 2030. Okey, itu dalam konteks kerajaan. Dalam konteks KPT juga kita ada satu lagi dipanggil Plan Pembangunan Pendidikan Tinggi 2015 hingga 2025, di mana dalam plan pendidikan itu ada satu trust ketujuh, iaitu Ecosystem Innovation. So kat sini dia akan untuk dari segi implementation dan juga planning berkaitan dengan research, innovation dan juga commercialization. Dalam konteks lebih skop kecil lagi, dalam konteks politeknik dan juga community, kita lebih kepada kita punya punca kuasa kita kepada plan pendidikan politeknik dan plan strategi pendidikan politeknik kolej komuniti 2018 hingga 2025. Okay, dan kita deep lagi untuk sebagai dari segi operationalnya, dari segi untuk pelaksanaan secara direct, iaitu kita ada satu lagi buku iaitu buku hala 7 polisi tata cara perkomersialan di politeknik dan juga komuniti, dan dokumen ini telah dilancarkan pada 22 Julai yang lepas oleh TKP kita Dr. Zubaidah. Okay, next slide. Okay, untuk melakukan aktiviti commercialization ini, kita ada 3 step, iaitu step pertama lebih kepada research, step kedua kepada innovation dan step ketiga kepada commercialization. So kalau dalam konteks ini kita lihat, kalau kita nak mulakan commercial, kita bermula dengan research. Sama ada research itu berbentuk fundamental ataupun research itu berbentuk dari segi applied. Daripada dua benda. Itu adalah step pertama dalam research, dan sebenarnya untuk terjemahkan teknologi formulate kita dari segi teknologi konsep ataupun dari segi application dia, seterusnya kita buktikan melalui step 3 iaitu proof of concept. Yang ni kita buat eksperimen, kritikal dan sebagainya. Okey, dalam konteks politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti, kita lihat banyak produk-produk kita ataupun dari segi kekuatan kita, kekuatan dari segi kepakaran ataupun dari segi kemudahan yang kita ada, kita bangunkan produk-produk ini untuk pembangunan inovasi. Sama ada pembangunan inovasi itu adalah untuk kegunaan institusi. Okay, lebih fokus lagi, step yang kedua itu innovation. Innovation ini agak kita kompleks untuk kita laksanakan, walaupun kompleks, tetapi kita perlu lakukan untuk proses ke arah commercialization, iaitu teknologi subsystem validation in laboratory environment. Itu penting sebenarnya. Kalau kita bagi contoh, katalah Kolej Komuniti Kuching, dia bangunkan kita ambil satu contoh adalah mesin mengisar bawang, contohlah. So mana step pertama tu dah buat research, dari segi teknologi dah buat, lepas tu dari segi analytic dan juga function tu dah ada. Tetapi lagi-lagi step yang keempat itu lebih kepada untuk mendapat iktirafan ataupun validation. Validation maknanya kita perlu produk itu mendapat contohnya daripada siring ke daripada badan-badan bertauliah yang boleh mengiktiraf produk itu, produk ini tidak boleh digunakan selamat. Itu step itu. Dan saya rasa step ini agak kompleks juga sebabnya dia melibatkan satu kos, melibatkan dia memakan masa yang lama untuk validate, untuk mengiktiraf produk itu adalah produk yang diguna selamat kat situ. Saya nak cerita step-step level dalam TRL ini. Kalau kita lihat kepada TRL ini, banyak organisasi sama ada akademik, industri dan juga organisasi pendidikan macam kita menggunakan TRL ini sebagai panduan dia, sebagai landasan untuk kita laksanakan aktiviti komersial. Dan kita mengharapkan politeknik dan kolej komuniti dapat kita teruskan ke further level ke-9 ataupun ke-8 itu. Ke-8 itu. Okay, next slide. Okay, kita lihat bagi saya tengok kepada kekuatan kita, kekuatan pada politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti. Kita lihat statistik kita. Pada tahun 2018 kita menghasilkan 1048 produk dan juga servis. Politeknik juga kolej komuniti pada tahun 2019 1410, dan walaupun dalam 2020 ni dalam pandemik COVID, still lagi kita dapat membangunkan produk-produk dan juga servis dalam 1,200, dan pada tahun ini sehingga pada Ogos 2021 ni kita politeknik juga kolej komuniti dapat membangunkan 1,550 produk. Dan kita lihat juga kepada iktirafan ni dalam konteks ni kita ambil contohlah, kita ambil yang mendapat anugerah emas bermula pada tahun 2018 264, sehinggalah 2022 tu 269, dan sehingga tahun 2021 kita ada 94 produk yang mendapat iktirafan anugerah emas ataupun setaranya. Okay, next slide. Okay, kita juga lihat kepada politeknik juga kolej komuniti dalam aspek penganjuran pertandingan inovasi. Kita ada kekuatan kat sini. Kita lihat juga statistik pada 2018 kita dapat menganjurkan pertandingan peringkat kebasan 5 penganjuran pada tahun, dan juga satu untuk peringkat antarabangsa, sehingga 2019 7 Dan akhir sekali 21 tu kita dapat penganjuran dalam 4. So kalau kita lihat kepada bilangan produk yang dipertandingkan tu, saya ingat ada yang macam 2020 tu 1,200, agak tinggi ya. Dan juga terlihat kepada bermula yang peringkat antarabangsa pada tahun 2019 terlihat kepada 494 produk terlihat. So saya nak cerita kat sini bahawa dari segi dua benda kat sini. Satu benda, kita ada kekuatan untuk bangunkan produk. Yang kedua, kita ada kekuatan untuk dari segi penganjuran pertandingan inovasi. Dia adalah tujuan dia adalah untuk kita mengiktiraf, menyuki bakat dan juga mengiktiraf bakat-bakat ataupun produk-produk yang dihasilkan sama ada oleh pelajar politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti untuk ke lebih peringkat tinggi. Walau macam mana kat sini kita punya gaps kita ataupun kita punya jurang kita adalah dari segi aspek commercialization. Kat situ kita ada gap kat situ. Macam mana kita dah ada produk-produk ini tetapi kita tak dapat melaksanakan commercialization. Dari segi asasnya kita lihat kepada untuk commercialization ini, dia ada step-step dia lagi lah, saya akan cerita selepas ini. Dan saya nak kita buktikan bahawa sistem pendidikan TVET Politeknik dan juga Komuniti mampu menghasilkan produk-produk yang berkualiti. Selain itu juga dalam konteks kita ada grant sendiri, TRGS, PPRM dan juga grant-grant kreativiti daripada politeknik, daripada pesara politeknik dan juga komuniti mendapat grant daripada MOSTI dan juga daripada industri agensi-agensi lain. Okay, next slide. Okay. Okay, next slide. Okay. Untuk ke arah commercialization adalah kita lihat kepada satu benda yang penting kat sini. Kita dah kat sini kita dah berjaya tubuhkan satu center innovation dan juga commercialization center. ICC kita terletak di Politeknik Shah Alam. Dan sebenarnya untuk kita cerita tadi pasal kita banyak produk tetapi kita tak dapat komersialkan. Salah satu inisiatif kita buatkan, kita adakan center. Center inilah tempat untuk kita berbincang, untuk kita pamerkan produk kita, untuk kita dari segi pitching produk, untuk konsultansi kita, untuk mendapatkan dari segi kepakaran kita, juga untuk dari segi pertukaran teknologi dan sebagainya. Terlihatlah kalau kita punya ICC kita ataupun Innovation dan Community Center kita di Shah Alam, kita dah sebenarnya pada tahun 2020 dah kita dah tubuh. Walau macam mana pun aktiviti-aktiviti itu kita dah kita teruskan. Sebanyak isunya saya cerita tadi lah. Isunya kat tadi kita cerita dari segi pembangunan kita ada tetapi kita start dekat dari segi commercialization. Okay, next slide. Okay, saya nak cerita juga kat sini dari segi kita punya gap kita ataupun jurang kita dalam konteks commercialization. Sebenarnya dalam konteks politeknik dan juga komuniti, untuk menjalankan perkomersialan ini, kita tak lari daripada commercialization dalam konteks kerajaan, sebab kita ni adalah pejabat awam. Institusi kita ni adalah agensi kerajaan. So dalam konteks Malaysia, untuk menjalankan aktiviti perkomersialan ni, dia mesti perlu mengikut dari segi dasar ataupun garis panduan yang ditetapkan oleh MOSTI. Okay, MOSTI, Kementerian MOSTI ini dia dipertanggungjawabkan untuk menyelaraskan aktiviti selain daripada research, innovation dan juga commercialization kat situ. Okey, dalam konteks politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti, kita fikir dari segi aspek ni adalah untuk move forward. Move forward bukan kita fikir kekurangan kita. Kita move forward kita. Dalam konteks institusi politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti ini, kita lihat kepada institusi kita, kalau kita lihat pada guide daripada MOSTI, dia adalah dari segi hak milik produk itu, dia mesti adalah milik institusi, bukan milik individu. Kat situ satu punya gap lah. Dalam konteks untuk commercialization ini, halangan kita adalah pendaftaran harta intelek itu, hak milik itu adalah institusi. Reason rationalnya ataupun justification ni adalah kita lihat pembangunan produk itu, pembangunan dari segi produk oleh pesara juga menggunakan dari segi kemudahan dan juga dari segi fasiliti dan juga kepakaran daripada institusi kat situ dalam konteks ini. Yang kedua adalah dari segi harta pendaftaran harta intelek kita, dia perlu structure. Dalam ikut MOSTI ni dia perlu structure. Ada produk-produk memerlukan patent, kita kena buat patent. Ada produk-produk memerlukan selain daripada copyright, kita kena ikut step-step dari situ. Okay. Seterusnya kita lihat kepada dari segi pengurusan kewangan. Kewangan ini kalau kita lihat dalam konteks kita untuk mengiktirafkan pengurusan kewangan kita, kita ada dua sumber saja. Iaitu sumber kita punya kewangan kita, akaun amanah dan juga ABN dan juga dapatan hasil kerajaan. Dalam konteks MOSTI, dalam konteks tu dia perlu adakan satu, kalau universiti dia ada holding ataupun dari segi pengurusan kewangan ini dia perlu kolaborasi, sama ada kolaborasi dengan industri dan sebagainya lah. Okey, seterusnya kita lihat kepada dari segi jualan. Jualan ini dia perlu ekosistem. Dalam konteks MOSTI, dalam garis panduan MOSTI, dia memerlukan proses jualan itu memerlukan 3 hingga 5 tahun ke atas. Dia tak boleh kita jual 2-3 produk tu dalam masa sebulan kita mengiktiraf ataupun kita declare itu adalah komersial, tak boleh sebenarnya. Sebenarnya dia memerlukan masa untuk ekosistem untuk penjualan itu. Maknanya produk itu dia dah sustain, produk itu dah melalui produk itu mendapat dari segi permintaan dan sebagainya. Okey, seterusnya kita lihat kepada menjana pendapatan secara ekosistem. Okey, dalam konteks kita dia perlu, kalau komersial under MOSTI mestilah menjana pendapatan secara ekosistem. Dia tak boleh hari ni jual, tahun ni jual, tahun depan tak jual. Dia konsisten. Dan konsisten ni dibuktikan. Dibuktikan dalam konteks kita, saya cerita tadi lah, kita dapat buktikan melalui satu akaun amanah, satu di hasil kerajaan sebenarnya. Kita tak boleh, maknanya dalam konteks kita kerajaan ni, kita nak dari segi pendapatan tu kita ke peribadi ke semua tak boleh dalam konteks tu. Walau macam mana pun, dalam kita lihat pada dasar-dasar daripada dasar kerajaan, dia ada pembahagian dia, royalty dia dalam konteks ni lah. So dalam konteks dasar-dasar dikeluarkan MOSTI dan juga garis panduan kita, kita lihat kepada kalau katalah jualan itu bawah 250,000 keuntungannya, dari segi inventor ataupun mereka kita tu still lagi akan mendapat antara 80 hingga 90% dan 10% hingga 20% akan mendapat industri kedapat. Maknanya pengiktirafan kepada mereka kita tu masih lagi ada. Okay, next slide. Okey, dalam konteks kita, dalam aktiviti komersialan kita, sebenarnya kita ada satu, dalam konteks politeknik juga kolej komuniti, kita ada satu plan strategi. Kita plan strategi ini kita letak plan strategi perkomersialan ni bermula pada tahun 2021 hingga tahun 2028. Iaitu kita ada 4 fasa dalam konteks kita. Fasa pertama adalah fasa pendedahan. Fasa pendedahan. Fasa kedua adalah fasa pembudayaan. Ketiga adalah peningkatan. Dan akhir sekali adalah permekasaan dan juga kecemerlangan kat situ. So kita lihat, kita fokus je kepada dalam aspek fasa pertama pendedahan, iaitu kita lihat kita nak tubuhkan satu pusat komersial JPKK dah, alhamdulillah kita dah berjaya kita wujudkan satu pusat di Politeknik Shah Alam, dan juga kita nak dari segi corporate governance kita, corporate governance ni perlu tabik urus yang bagus, dan matlamat kita adalah kita nak adakan satu polisi dari segi hala tuju dan juga tata cara, dan itu pun kita dah siap, cuma ada beberapa perkara lagi untuk kita tambah baik dari segi corporate governance kita dalam konteks sama ada di konteks kami di JPKK ataupun konteks dalam konteks di institusi politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti. Maknanya kat sini corporate governance ni adalah benda yang penting. Mana kita cerita kat sini hubungan PPI dengan KUPIK atau dengan KUPIK institusi, dan juga corporate governance dari aspek KUPIK dengan pesyarah atau juga pelajar kolej komuniti itu perlu ada dalam konteks itu. Itulah kita perlukan satu garis panduan. Okay, dalam konteks lain lagi kita perlukan demand driven, iaitu pembinaan imej baru. Kita nak buktikan pembinaan imej baru ini bahawa aktiviti komersial ni boleh dilakukan di politeknik dan juga komuniti mengikut acuan kita. Kita tak boleh mengikut acuan lain lah, sebab kita terikat dengan peraturan-peraturan kerajaan dan sebagainya. Seterusnya kita lihat kepada peningkatan kemahiran perkomersialan. Kita perlukan, yang penting lagi, sistem jaringan kolaborasi yang aktif. Itu penting sebabnya aktiviti perkomersialan ni dia tak lari daripada collaboration, smart collaboration dengan institusi dan sebagainya. Dekat situ juga kita perlukan satu sistem jaringan kolaborasi yang aktif. Okay, seterusnya kita lihat penyegarangan dan juga peranan. Okay, peranan warga ni adalah peranan kita lah. Kita menceritakan kepada warga politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti bahawa aktiviti komersialan dapat dilaksanakan secara struktur. Okay. Saya rasa yang fasa-fasa lain tu itu adalah fasa untuk pada tahun 2023, iaitu fasa pemberdayaan, dari segi pencapaian anugerah dan KPI, kita jangkakan KPI untuk commissioning pada tahun 2023 nanti. Maknanya dari segi governance kita dah mantap dah dan sebagainya. Dan kita memang kita nak target lah yang 2027 hingga 28 tu dari segi permekasaan dan kecemerlangan, modal insan, kepakaran penjajaran serta job creator dan sebagainya. Okay, next slide. Okay, dalam konteks kita punya dalam konteks kita punya polisi kita, yang penting kita perlu adakan satu polisi sebagai garis panduan kita, sebagai sebagai garis panduan kita, sebagai landasan kita supaya aktiviti kita ni tidak terlari daripada landasan-landasan tu. Sebabnya saya cerita tadi lah, kalau ikut aktiviti komersialan ini, dia tak lari daripada peraturan kerajaan, dia tak lari daripada pekeliling-pekeliling yang ada. So kita perlukan dari segi polisi ini, dan polisi ini juga kita refer lah kepada MOSTI lah. Kita perlukan hala tuju, kita punya hala tuju kita ke mana, macam plan strategik kita lah. 10 tahun ke datang kita perlukan komersial ni ke mana. Dari segi punca kuasanya, kita mesti ada punca kuasa. Dalam konteks GPKK kena ada punca kuasa, di peringkat institusi pun kena ada punca kuasa. Okey, sasaran kita macam mana? Sasaran kita dari segi pensyarah macam mana, dari segi pelajar macam mana dan sebagainya. Dan juga ini penting juga dari segi perlindungan dan juga pengiktirafan. Itu penting sangat sebabnya kita nak melindungi produk-produk yang di governance yang guru takbir dan sebagainya, dan produk dan perkhidmatan. Okey. Seterusnya saya lihat juga, saya nak cerita juga kat sini secara umumnya adalah teknikal. Yang ni teknikal, tata cara teknikal umum. Untuk kita buat dari komersial ni memang dia kena structure, dia tak boleh main lebih kurang, tak boleh. Sebabnya melibatkan, saya cerita tadi, melibatkan undang-undang, peraturan sebagainya. Dari segi takut orang ambil idea dan sebagainya. Kat situ dia bermula daripada urus cia kupik, penyediaan kertas kerja, IDF kan, lepas tu validation, market validation ni macam mana, produk ini okey tak, produk ini boleh dijual tak, produk ini siapa nak bangun, siapa penggiliran mana nak bangunkan, dari segi validation untuk pengiktirafan produk ini macam mana. Lepas tu dari segi proses berikutnya pemilikan hati intelek, analisis pasaran, pembangunan perancangan perniagaan, pengurusan dari segi pemasaran, pembayaran royalti. Yang ni penting sebab kita kalau ikut pembayaran royalti ni memang lebih kepada pereka cita, lebih kepada pereka cita. Okey. Okey, seterusnya next slide. Boleh? Saya tak nampak slide saya. Okey, seterusnya kita lihat kepada kepakaran dan juga fasiliti. So boleh share tak slide tu, saya tak nampak kat skrin ni. Ada. Okey. Okey, seterusnya kita lihat kepada slide berikutnya adalah dari segi kepakaran juga fasiliti. Kita maknanya kat sini kita ada kepakaran dari segi pensyarah kita, kita ada juga kemudahan fasiliti di peringkat politeknik dan juga kolej komuniti. Kita ada juga dalam konteks niche area. Kita dalam konteks politeknik juga komuniti, dia ada niche area. Kalau kita lihat kepada Kolej Komuniti Kuching, kita lihat kepada 3 program kat situ, CJ Seni Bina, Teknologi Seni Bina, CJ Fashion, CJ Asas Jahitan Kreatif dan sebagainya. Maknanya kat situ kita lihat kepada kepakaran pensyarah tu ada. Segala pensyarah tu ada. Okay, next slide boleh? Next slide. Okay, saya rasa ini saya dah cerita dah dari segi kepakaran, dari segi facility. Okay, dari segi sasaran, okay, yang ini penting. Sebenarnya saya kat sini untuk saya mencadangkanlah, mewawarkan kepada politeknik, komuniti, pensyarah dan juga pelajar, kita perlu ada sasaran kita dalam konteks RMD. Dalam konteks RMD ini, ini sebabnya proses untuk komersial ni dia tak berlaku hanya peringkat komersial. Dia mesti berlaku dalam konteks peringkat penyelidikan, research, applied research, fundamental research dan sebagainya. Step kedua adalah pembangunan inovasi dan step ketiga adalah dari segi commercialization. So kat sini dari segi penyelidikan ni saya saranlah untuk politeknik, syaraf ni mesti ada target lah untuk tahun 2022 nanti berapa kertas penyelidikan yang kita nak terbitkan ataupun kita nak bentangkan sebagainya. Dan saya rasa ini ada dari segi KPI kan. Lepas tu dari segi penyelidikan juga pembentangan perlu ada. Penganjuran-penganjuran CITVET, Telkom kan di peringkat Zoom Borneo ada Telkom kan dan sebagainya. Itu perlu ada sasaran kita dan untuk menyediakan perkara-perkara ini perlu dirancang daripada bermula pada sekarang. Sebenarnya untuk kertas penyelidikan ni saya rasa kalau untuk kita bina kertas penyelidikan ni dia tak boleh dalam konteks 10 hari tak boleh, di konteks kita rancang dari segi kita nak cari isu dia, collect data dan sebagainya dan juga penerbitan dan sebagainya. Okey, dari segi pembangunan inovasi ni perlu ada. Mesti ada dalam konteks ini pembangunan produk dan juga perkhidmatan semua. So saya rasa dalam konteks produk tu saya rasa biasalah produk dan servis. Dari segi servis ni saya rasa ada dalam konteks mungkin Kolej Komuniti Kuching dia ada macam fashion kan, macam mana servis. Kita wujudkan satu servis untuk fashion tu. Kita copyright kan, mungkin dalam bentuk modul, mungkin bentuk dalam aspek klase dan sebagainya. Itu kita boleh commercialkan benda tu. Lepas tu dari segi pengurusan harta intelek juga kita perlu dirancangkan secara mengikut peraturan-peraturan juga pertandingan inovasi dan juga satu perkara penting adalah solution provider. Maknanya kita bangunkan produk itu lebih kepada keperluan, sama ada keperluan institusi, industri dan juga komuniti kita macam produk PPRM lah. Dan akhir sekali kita lihat kepada perkomersialan, pemasaran, jualan dan akhir sekali menjana pendapatan. Okay, next slide. Okay, boleh next slide. Okay, next slide kita lihat kepada aktiviti 2020 nanti. Kita nak start dah secara struktur aktiviti komersialan kita. Dan ini kita dah buat sesi libat urus bersama Kupik Politeknik, Kupik Kolej Komuniti, dan kita dah cerita dah kat dia orang pasal kita punya buku dokumen hala tuju kita, polisi kita, tata cara kita untuk implementasi dari segi dokumen itu dalam konteks kita rancang pada tahun 2022 nanti kita rancangkan satu produk daripada institusi lah, sama ada Politeknik dan juga Kolej Komuniti. Kita cadangkan Politeknik Premier dan juga Apex dan juga kita dan juga Politeknik Konvensional, kecuali 3 Politeknik barulah iaitu Tawar, Besuk dan juga Bagandatu kan. So dalam konteks komuniti, Kolej Komuniti, saya rasa satu produk juga kita cadangkan produk dah sedia ada. Dan juga kita cadangkan produk ini daripada Kolej Komuniti Kluster 1 dan juga Kolej Komuniti Kluster 2. Saya difahamkan Kolej Komuniti Kuching Kluster 2 kan. So kita nak rancanglah, tapi walau macam mana pun di peringkat PPI kita guide, kita sediakan panduan kita mengikut step-step dia. Dan kita laksanakan ini kalau tak ada halangan, kita tak ada dari segi pandemik nanti kita akan buat melalui pembekalan dan juga dan sebagainya. Okay, next slide. Okey, seterusnya kita lihat kepada kita nampak produk-produk yang kita cadangkan pada tahun 2022 nanti. Kita nak cadangkan produk-produk yang kecil saja. Kita tak fokus kepada produk-produk yang besar, besen-besen dan yang besar. Kita hanya fokus kepada produk berskala kecil dan produk juga kita cadangkan produk melalui modular teknikal, modul latihan dan juga pembangunan produk latihan juga bengkel mengikut package. Dan juga kita cadangkan dari segi produk teknikal ini adalah dari perisian dan juga aplikasi online. Of course lah dari segi produk bukan teknikal ni banyaklah dari segi makanan, minuman, lepas tu dari segi perkhidmatan, hospitality dan pengurusan lah. Okay, next slide. Okay, kalau kita lihat kepada aktiviti kita pada tahun depan, kita dah buat dah sesi libat urus bersama Kupik dan kita ada sesi pitching. Carnival pitching untuk Politeknik Komuniti pada 12 hingga 14 Disember nanti. Dan seterusnya kita ada 5 sesi bengkel konsultansi mengikut zon bermula Februari. Lepas tu ada pembentangan, dia ada juga pelaporan, sesi pemantauan dan pelaksanaan oleh Pedagogy dan sebagainya lah. Dan kita mengharaplah projek perintis kita ini menjadi realiti sebabnya walaupun kita tahu halangan-halangan ni banyak lagi, kita cubalah untuk pilot test kita. Okay, next slide. Okey, kalau kita lihat aktiviti kita, kita lihat macam saya cerita tadi, kalau kita lihat satu produk itu, satu produk dia untuk komersial ni dia tak boleh 1 tahun tu settle, tak boleh. Satu produk tu dia mesti melalui satu cycle dia ataupun satu kitaran dia. Dalam konteks kita cerita tadi, di antara 3 hingga 5 tahun konteks untuk tu kan. So kalau kita lihat kepada buku kita, panduan kita, dari segi dokumentasi kita, kita kena buat step fasa 1 hingga 7 dulu untuk tahun 22 nanti. Maknanya dokumentasi dulu. Kita buat research dulu pasal produk-produk kita, dan juga pada tahun 2023 dan 24 nanti barulah ada proses dari segi penjualan dan sebagainya lah. Barulah kita lepas 3 tahun barulah kita 3 hingga 5 tahun barulah kita mengiktiraf produk itu adalah produk komersial yang structure, yang konsisten tadi. Cerita. Okay. So saya rasa next slide. Okey, ini acuan komersial politeknik dan kolej komuniti. Saya ingat mempunyai IP yang structure, hak milik, institusi menjana pendapatan secara berterusan, jakaan melalui 3 hingga 5 tahun dan juga menggunakan akaun amanah. Saya rasa itu sajalah dari segi knowledge sharing saya. Mungkin ada pertanyaan, insya-Allah saya cuba jawab. Dalam konteks kita sebenarnya saya nak cerita sini, kita punya jurang kita ada halangan kita. Walau macam mana pun kita nampak kita punya peluang kita untuk melaksanakan aktiviti komersial ini secara structure, secara berstruktur, mengikut peraturan dan mengikut peraturan kerajaan. Dan of course lah kalau kita lihat kepada untuk melaksanakan ini, kita memerlukan komitmen, memerlukan kerjasama yang padu daripada institusi dan sebagainya. So saya serahkan kepada Teologi Lius balik. Okey, terima kasih.
Okay, saya nampak dalam chat kita hari ni live ramai kata hello Dr. Hadi semua kan. Kawan lama kan?
Okay, saya pun ada sejarah di Sarawak kan. Saya pernah duduk Sarawak 6 tahun pada tahun 2002 hingga 2008 lah. Saya adalah pensyarah di Kolej Komuniti Kuching lah. Ada nampak Syafrin ada Syafrin sahabat saya. Okay, ya.
Patutlah tadi kolej ramailah datang sini bagi tahu.
Pun segan juga ni kawan-kawan ada kan.
Okey doktor, saya ada satu soalan dulu. Okey. Soalan dia, pencapaian anugerah sering digunakan sebagai penanda aras kejayaan ya. Sesuatu produk yang inovatif dan dijadikan indikator komersialan. Okey,
komersialan.
So, bagaimana kita boleh wujudkan warga yang lebih fokus kepada penghasilan produk yang lebih berfungsi, katakan ataupun functional berbanding dengan pengiktirafan. Sekarang ni bila kita tengok kan dia orang buat inovasi semua ni, dia orang lebih nak pengiktirafan. Dia nak win. That's it. And then bila dia win, dia orang guna, okay that's it. Dia tak fikir pun nak pergi komersial ataupun dia tak lebih dari situ. So apa pandangan doktor?
Okey, sebenarnya dalam konteks penyertaan pertandingan inovasi daripada warga politeknik juga komuniti, itulah satu dari segi bagi itulah satu piktirafan bahawa produk yang dibangunkan mendapat piktirafan daripada panel-panel lah, daripada panel dan juga mendapat anugerah dan sebagainya. Dan sebenarnya itulah salah satu yang saya cerita tadi, kita punya gap kita, jurang kita. Kita nak komersialkan benda tu, tetapi kita punya dari segi dalam konteks kita ada halangan kita dari segi peraturan sebagainya. Walau macam mana pun, dah saya cerita tadi, kita ada move forward bahawa kita boleh laksanakan aktiviti komersial mengikut acuan kita. Kita tak boleh ikut macam universiti, kita tak boleh ikut mengikut swasta, kita tak boleh ikut agensi lain dalam konteks kita. Itulah kita bangunkan satu dokumen tu sebagai rujukan kita, sebagai panduan kita. So dalam konteks ini, komersialan situ saya optimis, saya percaya, saya positif benda ni bahawa aktiviti komersialan boleh dilaksanakan di politeknik. Sebab kalau kita lihat statistik tadi pada tahun 2018 hingga tahun 2020 lebih kurang 3,340 produk lebih kurang dibangunkan. Banyak kat produk tu. Okay, of course lah kita tahulah dalam konteks kita selain daripada untuk kenaikan pangkat sebagainya, sebenarnya itu peluang sebenarnya. Itu peluang sebabnya kita nak buktikan bahawa dari segi expertise, dari segi kepakaran kita ada. Kan kita ada, bukan kita tak ada. Cuma kita ada one step lagi kalau ikut model yang saya tunjuk tadi, TRA tadi, model akhir sekali itu adalah untuk komersialkan. Dan kita cuba dalam konteks PPI, kita akan cuba bantu dalam konteks ni kita akan buat sesi konsultasi dan juga kita gunakan stack pertama lah. Kita nak bangun, kita nak tahun depan 2020 nanti kita nak bangunkan, kita nak komersialkan produk sedia ada. Mungkin produk tu dah memasuki pertandingan, dah memenangi emas dan sebagainya. Kita nak satu lagi move forward, bergerak ke depan. Bahawa produk-produk ini boleh dilaksanakan, boleh dikomersialkan secara struktur. Dan sebenarnya satu lagi, kalau ikut mesti kita punya tu adalah untuk menjana pendapatan kat situ. Dan menjana pendapatan ni dalam konteks dua benda, dalam konteks institusi dan juga dalam konteks apa ni, pedagogy cerita. Pembuktian sebagai contohlah, kita lah macam saya dulu kursus pendek kan, kita buat kursus pendek kan. Okay, pembuktian kursus pendek itu dia dulu cara betul. Satu melalui hasil kerajaan, satu melalui ekonomi manah. Kita nak buktikan macam tu. Maknanya model daripada kursus yang kita buat tu boleh. So saya rasa kita boleh gunakan model yang kursus pendek tu kepada komersial. Kita nak buktikan benda tu. Okey konteks. Okey, jelas soalan jawapan tu?
Boleh.
Malah ada kekurangan saya Okey.
Okey. Terima kasih Dr. Hadi. Okey, atas perkongsian tadi. So kita jumpa lagi Dr. So thank you very much. Okay. Okay, kita akan continue. Alright. So let's continue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the time with us. Okay, we would like to apologize for the little bit of glitch earlier on due to the internet connection and technical error. But however, we managed to overcome it. But like as usual, because this is an online platform, so we cannot escape for all this. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Moving forward, okay, ladies and gentlemen, innovations can be taken to market in multiple ways. As earlier on you've heard, from commercialization is only one of the many methods for us to move forward. Now, talking about marketing, right? Some of the deciding factors will depend on the availability of potential industry partners, also your interest in entrepreneurship and the market readiness of your innovation. Now, marketing innovation is the implementation of a new marketing method involving significant changes in product design or packaging, product placement, product promotion, or pricing. Right? In this subject of marketing, this is actually something that quite very broad. All right. So let me introduce you our next speaker, who has over 12 years of experience as a corporate human resource consultant and trainer to various corporate sectors such as customer care management, industrial and hospitality customer service, business communication, accounting and finance for non-accountant, and credit control management, property management operation, and F&B crew and supervisory operation induction. He's also a coach that's with HRD certified and an advisor for youth entrepreneur pre-business kickstart workshop learning program. All right, let's welcome our next speaker, Mr.
Hello.
Toh Eng Seong. Hello, Mr. Toh.
Hi, hello, Miss Liu. Thanks for putting me in here. Hi, nice to meet you guys. Okay, first of all, I would like to thanks to the panel, especially this called Community Kuching, the college. And I would like to thank you for communicating with me a few days on. I was very excited, for first time joining this session. So it really makes me feel really up my skills, right? And also like to thanks to Mr. Luke from the panel who has assisted me on the technical parts, right? In order to put me here appropriately to share with with all the panels, with all the doctors, and all the participants. Most importantly, the participants here, right? So thanks a lot. Thanks again to Miss Liu, Mr. Luke. Right. Let's now. Can we start? Can we? Shall I start?
Yes, anytime.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. We talk about marketing. All right, marketing. The what we call this principle of marketing, especially to how to say, to make awareness of your innovative product, or what we call innovation product or new product, we call innovation products. Okay, so we have apply for principle of the marketing principle to apply for your advertising and for your awareness. All right. So Ms. Liu, go to another slide. Next slide. Okay. Now, there are 4P: products, price and place and promotion. All right. So today I'm here to share about the place. The place, third one, the place of principle. The place here is very important for you guys to see how do you market your products. How do you put awareness to the market, to the public about your innovation products? The place here doesn't mean that tapak, tapak like a pasar malam, pasar pagi, or shopping center, or like other areas to promote your so-called products or your service. All right. I'm focusing here. The place is the way. All right. It's a mechanism. It's a cara to advertise or to put awareness to the public about your new products. All right. Next, go to the next slide, please. Okay. Place marketing. Place is a way provide customer to know you and find you. Okay, let's say today you have very canggih, very innovative products, all right, and very useful and very powerful product and very innovative product. But without place marketing, nobody would know about your products, right? Regardless, somebody have applied the products, but no way for them to share, no way for you to do advertising, no way for you to do your marketing, so your product become no value, right? So validation of product is based on the place of marketing. When you have a profile and have a right channel to market your product, then your product will be a validation product and it's a value to the market, society, and even worldwide and global, right? So now we go to another slide. Okay, marketing, you see, before we talk about our what we call innovation product or our new product, now we go for the marketing campaign for the 60s, 70s, or 80s before 21st century. We call that old place marketing, right? Old place marketing, from our childhood, our young times, our youngest time, we know that we apply for TV channel. Previously we do not have so many canggih punya apps, like we have a what we call Facebook, social marketing, right? We do not have our blog, and we don't even have our WeChat, WhatsApp, and other communication apps, right? So we do apply what? TV. Now let's say put a TV channel for advertising, yeah. Okay, we sit at home, okay, we're watching TV program. So the commercial times, for earlier time before this 21st century, the product, how they advertise is through TV channel. Is the expensive, is the most powerful way, is the most effective way to advertise the products. The product, whether it's existing product or it's a new innovated products. So TV channel. Now let's put TV3. All right, TV3. Don't see, just look at the products, the advertising for the products. Okay, for the advertising from this TV channel, it will it costs you very, very high cost. One slide, one about 5 seconds or 6 seconds, it will call you about 100 over K, 100 over thousand to spend for this marketing your products. All right. So this TV channel is really useful and really powerful to make known to the public, to nationwide, to the whole country about your new innovation product. Okay. So beside this TV channel, you can apply like, very, very relationship product, relationship marketing. Like you issue catalog, pamphlet, or whatsoever risalah, right? You issue and in the color printing, in the colorway of what we call awareness, then you distribute it to all those consumers. All right. So beside this, a catalog, pamphlet, and TV channel, we do have a home party, right? Let me put an example. Tupperware. Tupperware from 60, I think 60 years, 60 or 70s, there is a Tupperware already exists on the market, right? The market, until today, still people knowing about Tupperware, all right? Because Tupperware, he has really innovated the system, innovate the system from the old channel until today, what we call the new innovation way of promotion, advertising, and make awareness. Okay, now we see home party. When I was young time, I was brought, to the family, to the auntie family, okay. One have a saudara, okay, one of my saudara, okay, she does very good in this, what we call Tupperware, business Tupperware as a distributor. What she did is, she gathered together, his friend, her friends, okay, what we call his relative, and whatsoever his contact, his network, come to the house and do all those, like, a home party. He cook very nice dishes, nice cakes, good drinks, and share with the people to advertise the what we call the so-called Tupperware products. Okay, so from that we see that is the way, that are the ways for them to promote the product. That is, we call that is very traditional and conventional way of advertising the products. All right. Now, Miss Liu, go to the next one. Okay. All right. Now we are talking about new place marketing. Okay. For example, new place marketing. Now we have so many apps, so many other what we call channel to replace the old kind of the what we call marketing campaign. Okay. Now we put an example. McDonald. Okay, now McDonald, everybody globalized. Okay, internationally we know about McDonald. So how make McDonald make their product so effective and so make known, because they have already put their products and their service on the very effective way of marketing, right? Like McDonald, they have a mobile app. Mobile nowadays, a lot of people they have their own mobile phone. Even a small kids, right? A small kid they apply what we call this handphone, the smartphone. This is an innovation, innovation apps. That's why everybody know about this McDonald, KFC, or Pizza Hut, because by knowing what we call the innovation product, the innovation mechanism from this our smartphone, our handphone, right? So this is, we call that innovation. Without innovation, today we can't apply our how to say our life easily to get in touch with this society, this community, right? So now we go to another slide, Miss Liu. Okay, now beside the apps, okay, now we talk about web marketing. Web marketing from previous time, from old channel, we do not see www. Okay, www is worldwide known this web marketing. All right, so from this web marketing, we can advertise. We can make awareness to the public, even to the global, even to international, about our new product, our new innovation by advertising. We put that advertising, to make known to public from this web marketing. Now, from web marketing, we do have a search engine optimized. Okay, now today, you have very good products, you have very good service, but without this web marketing, do you think you can survive? Do you think you can last for your, for another 10 years or another 5 years or another even a next century? No. Today's innovation, today's trend, as an entrepreneur, as a marketeers, you must have your own marketing www web to introduce and to keep your products, to keep your product and service. Let's say SEO. Okay, SEO is a way to brand your product, to put your product branding. Nowadays, about 4 billion people online every day do searching from Google search. Google searching online, Google searching online for new products, for service, or even for the information. All right, now without Google, without searching the web, I think nowadays people they can't live their life like in a normal way. So without this www, without this worldwide, worldwide channel, I think you feel like you're living in the jungle, right? You're living in the jungle. You're not like get in touch with the society, with this community, or even with the world, right? So now with SEO, search engine optimizer, okay, you apply your product, you brand your new product, your innovation product, to brand it through SEO. Now everybody would like to search to your product. You just put in a keywords, then your product will come up, will appear on their screen. Then they can screen, they can look through, they can browse whatsoever info, whatsoever features, your product specialties from the searching. So SEO is a good way, to market your products, right? So with the SEO, we do have email. What we talk about email? Email is a good channel for communication. It's one of the communication channel. It applies worldwide. You can get in touch with US, you can get in touch with China, India, and every country worldwide, you can get in touch by email. So with your SEO, this search engine, you can create your own email to send your digital marketing product. I will recap, to Dr. Nana first. Okay, the first speaker, Dr. Nana, say this digitalization is very good. This is digitalization for the marketing use. Marketing nowadays, you can apply digital pamphlet, digital advertising, digital what we call these papers. Put all your advertisement through these digital forms. Then you can send through. You can share worldwide. You can share with your contacts. You can share with your corporate, corporate body, or you can share to your friends through this email sharing by having your SEO search engine optimized panel. Okay, so besides that, you have your own blog. You have your SEO, you can have your own blog as well. Okay, your own blog for you to create your branded, your product's name. Okay, your product's feature and your narration, and even you can put in the what we call the photos or pictures about your service, about your products. You can how to say, you can get in the people like a professional advertiser, like marketeers or professional marketeers, to help you to design your own products in the way of sharing by blog, your own blog. You put your blog, then you can share your product easily anytime, anywhere. When people go for searching through www, people will see your product. So AdWords is also very important. AdWords is to put your advertisement words. Okay, advertisement meaning to help you, to let people to know you from the first beginning. People don't know you. People will see the keyword. Okay, let's say today you're in education line, so your keyword might be education or training. Or teaching. So you have your keywords. People by searching from this Google web search, they will see you. They will know you. So from that, you develop and you make known to public about your service, about your products. So this web marketing today is very important. So without this web marketing, without this innovation, you very limited people will know about your product and know about your service, right? So now next, go to another slide, Miss Liu. Okay, social media marketing. Okay, we got www, that is what we call worldwide channel. Now we go to this social media marketing. Yeah, FB, we got the WhatsApp, we got the IG, we got the YouTube, and we got the TikTok, and we got the Zoom. Nowadays, people can't live without FB. Every day, people, when they bank from their sleep, okay, start, they press the phone, they see FB. Today, I have any contact to contact me. I have any like I got or not my sharing. I have any info not from my friend to share with me from the Facebook. So now you can see, Facebook is applicable everywhere, worldwide, everywhere. Every people every day they look at their Facebook, or some of them they have their own page of the marketing, marketing their products. So through this Facebook advertising, you can get in a group of people to know about your products. Okay, so we have also WhatsApp and Instagram. IG is owned by Facebook. By using WhatsApp, you can write your story. WhatsApp is also one of innovation web. You have WhatsApp app, you can apply your story to talk about your products, to talk about your service. You can share among with your group. Then the most important thing from the WhatsApp, you can create a group of people, group your contact to share among, to see your product, to let them know, to introduce your product, your service. And for the IG as well. But IG, they apply more to youngster, okay? More to youngster, they like to share about your daily life, your special, their special scenario, they're sharing over there. So this is also one of innovation app to share your products. Okay, now we talk about YouTube. YouTube now is a channel to substitute the TV ad, the TV advertising now, TV advertisement is a good way, is a very great, is a very effective way for those old channel for old time. Today, you get people to advertise on these, we call TV, I don't think much. I don't think more people, especially entrepreneur, they will do that, because by sharing, by doing advertisement on this TV, you need to spend a lot, 100 over 1,000 of the money, expenditure in order to make known of your, product to public. Most of people, they don't watch TV now. They don't have their own handphone, right? Their own apps. They apply to YouTube. YouTube can, you want to see whatever channel, you want to see the movie, you want to see what we call this a drama, you can go to YouTube now. YouTube anytime we can apply. Whereby television, you need to follow the time. Okay, let's say tonight, what drama at what time, you need to sitting down there and you wait for the time, then only you can see the advertisement. So now you want to do this advertising or make awareness of your product, you need to think twice. You need to think first, wisely think. Today I put this ad on the TV advertisement. What do I get? What kind of these a participant, a viewer do I have? Let's say you put a one advertisement on the TV3 today. I put example TV3. So you need to know, today I put advertisement on the TV channel, what type of the viewer I have now, because most of the people, they apply their own, like YouTube, they have their Facebook, they have their Instagram, they have their WhatsApp already. So their time apply on television become less and less. So now they apply from YouTube. YouTube is a good way, a good mechanism for you to share your products. You can get the YouTube advertising from the YouTube channel. You just pay them about about the YouTube charges, the cost for this advertising is about 2000 2000 2k 2k or 2000 US if the YouTube viewer more had hit more than 100 over viewer, then only you pay that amount. So if compared to television advertisement, I think YouTube is most powerful a channel for you to share your, or for you to advertise your innovative products. All right, now we go to the TikTok. Nowadays, TikTok, you can see TikTok every time when you're on your Facebook, right? Anytime when you're on your Facebook, you can see people share about TikTok. TikTok is something an apps. It's very quick, very quick and very how to say, very attractive, very interesting apps, to see the advertisement over there. But TikTok is not really a good channel, a good apps for you to share, but it's a way to enjoy, for you to enjoy. Okay, the drama, they put a drama there, a very, very, very good drama. So from that, you can also advertise, you can also make known to public about your product through these TikTok apps. All right. Now we talk about the Zoom. Okay, Zoom. Now, previously, old channel time, we have this home party, home channel to do gather together, to make known our product. Now we apply Zoom. Zoom meeting. We don't call it Zoom meeting, we call it Zoom party. All right. Now, previous we have the home party. Now we apply Zoom party. Zoom is actually a good way for you to zooming all the people, all your contact, or even your even it's not your contact, even outsider, to join together, to see your product, to share your service. You can create Zoom to produce to products to advertise your products to the unknown people, as long as you can contact them, or your contact can recommend them in to join your Zoom, your Zoom meeting, your Zoom what we call this advertising. By creating Zoom, you have a pool of people to know you through Zoom meeting, Zoom advertisement. You can ask them to join in your Zoom, and for the time being, you can recommend them to get their people in, and by doing so, you give them some of the, like something like a free gift, something hadiah sagu hati when they join for few times. You create this type of the channel of advertising, then they can know you, they can know your product through this what we call this Zoom app. So you can create another way of advertising for your products. Right, then let's go to another channel, another slide, please, Miss Liu. Okay, YouTube ads. We talk about YouTube, YouTube, there's a bumper ad. Because when we look at YouTube, when we enjoy our drama, our we call our movie from YouTube, sometimes we see that there's an ad, right? There's an advertisement on the YouTube. Okay, YouTube, there are two ways of the advertising what we call this mechanism. First, YouTube, you can apply for this bumper ad. Bumper ad is a way of non-skipper for your advertising. When you see the YouTube, when you apply YouTube, but you can see the skip ad. There is a skip ad on the bottom, on the left bottom. You can skip the ads. You can apply this bumper ad with non-skipper one. You can apply it. Non-skipper, then you'll make people to wait there. You will see the drama. Then people will see, hey, how come your product is already there? Then your product is there. Then they can know, oh, your product is everything advertising over here. So they can enjoy, they can know your product through this YouTube channel. All right. So YouTube channel, you can apply with the text. With the text, with the text is very you can apply your slogan on the text, your AdWords on this YouTube advertisement. So people know your product through viewer, through this visualization, and through this audioization. Okay, so people can know your product through this YouTube channel. Okay, now we still go to another slide. Okay, slogan. Slogan is very important to talk about your product, to talk about your what we call your features of the product, your specialties of the product. Slogans will help you to make known, make known to public about your features, about your specialties, and about your service. Slogans, right? Now, slogan is very important, aims to tell a lot of your product, what is your qualities, and what's the audience can be benefited from the product. Distinctive ad slogans make your product different from others. Why do I say so? Slogan, like now I put an example, like Milo. Milo from ancient, from old time, Milo, when they start innovation, this product, they have innovative this Milo, they put that minum Milo, Anda jadi sehat, right? This slogan, until today, we know that from our childhood until today, we know about Milo. Because Milo already put there, that slogan. Slogan will says about your product, will says about the features, specialties about your products. So like, delivery always on time. You see this slide, this picture, delivery always on time. So you already put there to public on time. Delivery, why you deliver? Because I need my time, I need my parcel to be delivered on time. So slogan is very important, mechanism for you to make known to your service or make known to your features, right? So slogan will help you to make people know, okay, about your service, about your product, about your features. So slogan apply for nowadays business is very important. I can see a lot of business here still they don't put really like a good slogan, or some of them they don't even put a slogan. All right, example. Okay, Miss Liv, go to next slide. Yeah, okay, next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, example. I put example for this smartphone. Okay, before smartphone innovated. All right, now we want to see the smartphone. Okay, what is the feature and what are the specialties for your smartphone? Okay, get the best smartphone, get the best business. When people look at these innovative product, these innovative apps or product or service, we see get the best smartphone, get the best business. So the businessman will know, oh, I have this best handphone, best smartphone. I can contact worldwide. I can contact globalization. I can contact with a lot of the my contact, worldwide contact. Then I can build my business, make my best business to be better and better. So get the best smartphone, get the best business. This is a good example of your innovation product. If you are in the communication or channel or communication of handphone, so you can apply. You can think about this very great what we call elaboration. All right. Now we go to another slogan. Pure picture. You have your handphone. Nowadays, we do have a handphone. We can take a picture. We can even record the videos. So pure picture, just two words only. Two words says about explain about your handphone. To elaborate the feature, the specialties about your handphone. So pure picture. People look at that, the pure picture. People see, oh, this handphone is good to me because I need to capture picture, I need to capture photo, I need to do recording all the way, for my business, for my career. So by looking at the what we call the innovative slogan, it will help you eventually to grow your business or to make your self development, right? Now we talk about the next cell phone. Cell phone gives freedom to your life and soul. Before cell phone, we apply the old kind of the what we call this conventional phone. We can't get freedom because we can't move away. We can't move along together with us. Wherever you are, you need to bring your handphone nowadays, right? So without handphone, you feel uneasy. You feel alive. You feel your life like you're losing something. You're not living in a normal normal life, right? Because cell phone is applicable nowadays everywhere. Every time. So cell phone, before creating cell phone already put that cell phone gives freedom to your life. So freedom meaning to say that wherever you go, whatever you do, you have a cell phone, to talk, to communicate, to send message, to read and to know, and to how to say to contact with with your day contacts, with your night contacts. So cell phone gives freedom to your life and soul is one of the creature slogan for your innovation products. All right. So now we go to next slide, Ms. Liu. Okay. So my presentation is up to here. All right. So do you have any question or any what we call your point of view, your suggestions? You may share now with me. I'm here to wait for your question and to share with you people. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Liu. Thank you. Miss Liu, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Mr. Toh, can you hear me?
Yeah, Miss Liu. Yeah,
Okay.
my slide is up
Okay.
there, right?
Right. All right. Thank you. Okay. So you talk about marketing. So, Mrs. Toh, I have a few questions for you. Okay.
Mm.
The first question is because as you can see that we are talking about innovation,
Yeah,
for teaching and learning. So
yeah,
we're talking about another different context of marketing, right?
yeah.
Because usually when we talk about usually okay, so lecturers when we innovate, we will actually innovate for the usage for another lecturers or another teachers, or maybe we innovate it for another education institutions, let's say. So
Mm.
what's your take, your advice on how do you market all these innovative products to this another different types of we will say market segment?
Oh, meaning to say that you would like to market the teaching and innovation this campaign, right? To
Yes,
another party, to
yes,
another party.
to a specific party.
To a specific party. Okay,
Yes.
so now, okay, like Miss Liu, first and foremost, do I need to know your specific party? Do they connect with you, or is a totally new contact with your what we call the group of people you would like to share? Or
Okay,
this
let's
group
just
of
say
people,
yes.
this group of people, do you know them, or have you contacted them before, or is the group of people connecting with you?
Okay,
This
let's
is the
just
way.
put it. Okay, so are you saying that Mr. Toh that we have to identify the connection? Is it?
Yes, the connection with you. How do they connect? How do they know you first? In the first thing. Okay, first of all, the new product or the new innovation, you need to have a brand on that. A brand. We call that branded, right? The product is a brand, right? So you need to put a brand on your innovation campaign whatsoever. So okay, like today, innovation and teaching. Okay, innovation and teaching in what forms of the innovation. You need to talk about your technology innovation in what purpose. Innovation in technology, in the machine, in the apps, or in the mechanism in the car, or in whatsoever industry. You need to make sure the innovation in what parts of innovation, right? Then only you can cater to the group of people. Let's say today you talk about innovation in teaching, right? So I'm thinking of innovation in teaching. There must be apps, a nice apps for you to create the teaching apps on teaching innovation teaching method on that apps. So you can only market your apps to the what we call the specific group of people you want to know. So by knowing that, then only you can share with them, right?
Right.
Do you get
So
me?
how do we do that? Yes, I understand. Okay, for example, now I give you an example, Mr. Toh. For
Ah,
example, now I'm doing some, like Mr. Toh mentioned earlier on about the apps, right? The teaching apps.
yeah.
So we can receive all these notes or something like that in the mobile apps. So
Ah,
where the students can actually have access to it. But now,
okay.
what me as an innovator, let's say, I want to share it with another institution so that they can do the same thing to another lecturers, or you know how I want to sell these apps to another teachers or institution that they can use that as how I'm using it. So how
Okay.
do I market that? How do I approach this?
Okay, you can have a okay. Firstly, communication is very important, right? Because you have
Yes.
this app. Okay, so without communicating with them, they don't know. You yourself only know you have this a very good product, very great product, right? So you need to make a communication with them, sharing with them. So first you can have like this conference, right? Like this very good conference. First you have to get this conference, like whatsoever conference webinar, okay, send to this WhatsApp group. You do have a contact with them. I'm sure now you have their contact through this WhatsApp or this WeChat, right? Or you can even create your page, you know, your own page of the FB. Then you put them in. You add them. You ask them to like your page. You put them into your page, and you start do the sharing, right? You can even tell them you have your own blog. You know, you can find us from this www, then your keywords, then you can put there. Then by keying so they can see you, they can know your products. Or you can even share with these marketeers to help you to write a very good blog. You know, then you from that you use your email to send through to them. I'm sure you contact with them by email as well, right? Because in the corporate sector, there is an email always. So by creating all these branded kind of thing, this basic kind of this fundamental kind of thing, then you send through them. Then you make an appointment. You can share the appointment. Okay, let's now today we have a sharing channel. So welcome you guys to this talk or you know this channel to share about your products, right? Miss Liu, do I answer your question?
There's a rough one. Okay,
Okay.
now,
Mm,
Mr. Toh, there's one last question, okay? Because time does not permit us to go any further. So now,
mm,
Mr. Toh, one last question. Okay, on marketing itself, on innovative products, right?
mm.
We often have this. How do you put this? I feel that my the innovation is good. Let's say, but
Okay.
however, after I sell it to a one or two people, then they don't feel that it is up to what their expectation, or maybe they just lost interest and everything. And then the innovators themselves also they lost interest. What I'm trying to say is that we in the middle of the way we don't go further than what we aim to do. You know, so we just lost the interest in halfway. So what's your advice for us to continuously motivate ourselves to market our product, to sell our product, or maybe is there a way for us to build a long lasting relationship with our customers, uh, anything?
Okay. First, you have to identify why people lost interest with the product. Are you sharing with the right channel with the right group of people, Miss Liu? You share this product because innovation product, it will depends on the you know the validation of product, the needs of the market, right? Are you sharing with the right channel with the right people? Because innovation product is a way of the new, we can call that a new products, right? So
Right.
before sharing to the new product, are you sure that you share with the right people? That's why make them not feel really like interested, you know, not like feel enthusiasm to apply your products. Or maybe your product is not really innovative enough, or your product is not really change may compare with others. So have you done all those like research, you know, your product features, your specialties? You need to go back to your product, the specialties. Do I have another maybe or a good product, you know, to compete me? You know, maybe other, maybe in the you know, the same market, other product is maybe you know, it greater than yours. So you need to do this kind of research. So you can also switch this product to other group of people, you know, to see, to test the market. The new innovation product is most important. You need to test the market first. We call that test the water. Then you, from that you innovate again until you get the new market, and then you until you get the new supporter, new section of the market, right? So
All
do you
right.
think this question helpful? this answer helpful or
So
not?
okay, okay, Mr. Toh. So that's on your experience. All right, that's on your experience. So what do you think about the market for innovative products now in Malaysia itself?
Malaysia, that is still very good market lah. Still very good market. You see, lately I saw this what we call TV advertisement. There is another handphone called Honor something from China, right? I
Yes,
think
yes.
that is a very that is another way of innovation, right? That's why they put, even though from China, they put broadcast, they put an advertisement over here. That means to see that Malaysia market, still lacking, still far behind. I can say still far behind. There is a chances for us to innovate more for this because we are now in the developing country, so we still need more innovation, need more innovation product, need more innovation service that make our country develop more. That's why innovation product is still a great way for us to grow along. So it's a really a good market for us, because innovation it can help us to have a better life, to make us feel our life more easier, right? Of course, we don't
Right,
go to like IA or whatsoever, because we need still our our mind. We need to apply our people skill. Without people skill, we can't innovate. That's why
right,
innovation and teaching and this product is actually it goes along together, right? Uh,
right. Okay.
so
Anyway,
uh,
thank you.
so okay for that. Welcome, Miss Liu. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Toh.
Thanks for
All
sharing.
right, all
Thanks
right.
for sharing.
Thank you for
All right.
all the sharing. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, thank you all to all the speakers this morning, and for an enlightening and entertaining presentation on the teaching and innovation. We appreciate having this mysterious area clarified, because especially in teaching innovation, it's such a challenging yet fun things to do. It is especially an eye opener on the sharings to closely involved with digitalization in TVET, how to innovate, how we'll be able to bring forward towards commercialization, and last but not least, how to market the innovative products. Tomorrow, you will receive a survey asking for feedback on this event. Your insight will help to shape future events such as this. On behalf of Kolej Komuniti Kuching, thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this information valuable. Last but not least, to all the viewers, innovation is a necessary change, much needed in education system today, and it can begin with you. Have a nice day and thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.